Chris Cody, I'm a little bit worried about Yamerchek in the Zaz and Cody seat. He's already spinning around in circles. He's got way too many thoughts and ideas because he's not doing a show often enough. He needs to be doing a show about, I'm going to say,
hourly.
29 hours a day, I think, would be the right amount. If you allowed him to do a show for just 24 hours, you might get a sane person. But if you gave him 29 hours a day, if Donald Trump were to extend daylight savings time to make the day 29 hours long, I think we might get the Yamerchek we need here. But Amin and Yamerchek on the same day means that we might have a collision of old people thoughts, given what Amin's been doing lately with his general fossilization right in front of our eyes.
Why
you got dragged into this.
Wait, what do I have to do this? What are you talking about?
The aging process around here. Damashek comes in here, and by way of hello, he says something about Otto Graham.
It's so true.
And it's like, I don't care about Otto Graham. And he's like, football's back, Dan. Like, that's why I'm here. It's Football America. There's football tonight. I've got a show, and I want to talk football. And he begins the bidding with Otto Graham.
Well, he wore number 60, you understand. He was a quarterback. That's why you have to hold him up. If you're going to talk about quarterbacks, are you serious? If you're not going to bring up Otto Graham, clearly you're not. Number 60.
Again, I'm trying to figure out how I'm old like that.
Well, you came in talking about AI wage suppression. Like, you're a different kind of old.
That's new shit, man. You know, I'm a guy who wore number 60.
Worrying about money is new shit?
Worry about AI suppressing money. That's new shit.
How did they do that?
Yeah, it's a wage suppression? Oh, man. You're not ready.
Otto Graham was number 60? I didn't know that Otto Graham was number 60.
In the AAFC. That's why you have to talk about him. That's why he's relevant, because he won 4 titles in the late 40s AAFC before he became an NFL superstar.
I don't know what that is. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you know what the AAFC is? And also, did you know that Otto Graham was uniform number 60? Because that is not something that I know or knew. What is the weirdest number a quarterback in the NFL has ever had? Is there any such thing as a quarterback in the NFL who has had a weird number?
I think that they only allow you to go from 1 up to 19
now, but I assume they made
John
that...
Hadle wore in the AFL, I believe, 20.
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Flutie wore 22 in Boston College, no?
Yeah. But yes, we're talking.
Still an odd number for a
You
quarterback.
think
22.
that rule has been in place all time for the NFL, that it's been 1 through 19 for the quarterback?
Well, Sammy Ball was 33, now that I think about it. 33.
Jeremy just Googled it and said that a millisecond before Damashek did with the internet, and Dave doesn't even have his laptop in front of him.
Yeah, no, the thing about Dave that's great is it would be a beautiful mind if any of the things that came out of it were actually beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here's something not beautiful but weird. Do you know that until 1976, a collection of college all-stars would play the reigning Super Bowl champions, and into the early 60s, the college team would sometimes win? Can you imagine? They beat Lombardi's Packers, college all-stars. What an embarrassment. If you need any further proof that the NFL didn't really matter until the Super Bowl era, there you go.
That's weird, right?
Your fantasy team from falling off the track. Football is back, Jack. Whether on the ground or through the air, when the chips are down and you throw a prayer, when your team is primed and on the hunt, it's 4th and 10, you refuse to punt. When the shoulder pads and helmets crack, that's how you know that football is back. back, Jack. Let me hear you say. Football is back, Jack. This high is wild and out of control. And we're gonna ride it every week till we reach the Super Bowl. Don't need no check downs. Give me big hits and quarterbacks. If you say this game's the best, I'll say it's a gag. Football is back, Jack. Football is back, Jack. Football is back. Football is back, Jack.
How do we feel about the jelly bean as a Hall of Fame candy? Because the jelly bean is one of my favorites. It's just a flavored cube of sugar. And Tony, I don't want your judgment on this. It's a historic, famous jelly bean candy for a reason. Like, it's got an endurance that not all the other candies have. There are plenty of come and go candies. The jelly bean is here and here forever.
The Bob Cousy of candy.
Yeah.
It's still great, though. That's the difference. The difference
For a certain subsection of people that saw it black and white, yeah.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. I like a lot more than black and white. In fact, I don't like the black or the white in this case, but I like all the other colors at Le Batard Show.
Well, the white one could be coconut flavored, and then that'd be very nice.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is the jelly bean the Bob Cousy of candy? I think you guys are being disrespectful to the jelly bean. You're being a bit ageist to the jelly
The
bean.
root beer jelly bean is my favorite candy.
That is disgusting.
Okay, that should be incarcerated.
What?
It should be. That should be.
It's delicious.
That should be prosecuted by.
A fan of the show just sent me a whole pack of root beer jelly beans. I ate half of them on the way home.
I am only okay with ice in this one instance. If they want to come in here and take you away, I'd be good with that. Like, I'd be like, that's what you just said is an insanity. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does anyone think that root beer is the greatest of the jelly
I
beans?
thought I was helping.
That is nuts. That is just.
All right, well, Dan, you can attack Taché, but of course you must follow up with the right answer. Then, what is the best
I mean, I like
flavor?
the reds and the pinks. I like the cherry, the bubble gum. I like,
Basic-ass
but I
bitch.
also like. What did you call me? Root beer breath just called me a basic ass bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
BAB.
Bab.
I like that Jeremy actually opened his mouth. The first thing that he said today was in effort of supporting you, and you immediately cut him down.
Yep.
You will be no ally of mine.
saying something I would never say.
A root beer flavored jelly bean.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I have tried it. This is not me speaking of ignorance. Look at me. You don't think that I'm a jelly bean connoisseur? If I'm telling you I like the jelly bean is one of the few candies. I don't know what this is for you guys in terms of food. Damashek, what is it for you in terms of food? The thing that you can't stop eating. Like, you know you're going to eat too many. You know it's not going to feel good once you start. I have addictive and compulsive tendencies. I've told the audience before, the reason I've lived in Miami all my life and never tried cocaine is because I don't want my life ruined. Like, I know that when I really like something, I have trouble with impulse control. What is the thing that you have? I'm asking all of you this question, so give it some thought. The one thing that you had to put at the top of your list on, if I start eating it, I can't stop, and I'm taking Pringles and potato chips sort of out of the equation here because too many people say that.
Whiskey.
Oh, you too.
No, it would. I mean, so you just immediately took my answer away from me before I gave it. I know it's basic, but I cannot go to a Mexican restaurant, and no matter how hard I try to resist, the chips and salsa will consume me, or I will consume
I'm
them.
full before my food arrives.
Right.
What about you guys? I mean, what would you choose as something that you just once you've had a couple, whether it's the saltiness or something else, you're gonna eat too many once you've started. That chips and salsa is a great one because that chips and salsa have to be. Put this on the poll at Le Batard Show. What is the bigger ruiner of your appetite for a meal? Chips and salsa or just bread? Pick between the two. Rolls.
Easily bread.
Yeah. Easily.
Not easily for me. Like it'll kill a Mexican meal for me if I start hitting the chips and the salsa. For me, the answer's chips and salsa. It's
Same.
not bread.
Is the bread nice and warm? And do they give a butter on
Yes,
the
a
side
salted
with
butter.
it? Something
No,
to go with
salted
that?
butter.
And let me
Damashek.
just throw an option C in there. Even though you don't see it that often, it's the flat, wide fried noodles that begin your Chinese feast. Those are very good.
They are delicious.
Yeah, but they're too small to be in this category of thing. Like
If they give you the little sweet and sour sauce to dip
Oh,
them
Dave, talk to me.
He is talking to you. Talk to me.
that's all he was doing.
Keep doing it. Say more.
I had a whole clam pizza last night. I got in at 10:30
You had a
at
what?
night. I had a clam pizza, and
Ugh.
I was like, well, I love the clam pizza. When I arrive in Miami, I immediately get myself one of those nice pizzas in the Elser Hotel downstairs. And I ordered up I walked in with my bags, and before I checked in, I went into the restaurant and said, is the kitchen still open? They said, we close in 2 minutes. And I said, put in an order of that clam pizza for me. And I ate
Keep
the
talking.
whole thing. I ate the whole thing standing right there at the bar. Now
Clams.
my belly's full of clams.
Clams, number 3 on my list of foods to eat in the nude.
I couldn't help but imagine that once he said he was eating clam pizza because of yesterday's show. I now had a new Dave Damashek in the Elser bar eating a clam pizza, and I've got to add the bonus fact of I don't know what a clam pizza is. I've never even heard of a clam pizza.
It's a pizza with clams on
Never
top.
heard of it. Didn't know that clams were a pizza topping
Same.
until this very moment.
It's the only topping is just clams?
Are they spread like pepperonis would be?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I mean, what do you think? As opposed to what?
don't know.
How else would they
One
be on
giant
there?
clam in the top? I don't
You
know.
know, maybe they give you like 5
It's a clam
clams.
tower.
You know, maybe there's only 5 clams because they're kind of pricey.
But
It's
you
on
know what?
cheese, eh?
I'm a man of many colors, Dan. But whereas I was willing to accept, I resented the thought of clam pizza, but then I tasted it. And when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong, like Jerry Orbach at the end of Dirty Dancing. It was delicious. But that's where we lost the way with jelly beans. They tried to please everybody. I didn't even know we were doing root beer jelly beans. I don't care for that. That's too far afield. Let's stick to the main flavors, right? I mean, banana is about as far as we
Keep
should
talking.
go.
Talk to me. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Yeah, banana. Let me think about this for a second. What is a bridge too far on we've made too many jelly bean flavors? Because root beer's been around for a long time, but I do believe the banana jelly bean is offensive. What you're describing there is too much even for me as a jelly bean connoisseur.
I know what happened. When they started making disgusting flavors, now we've gone to a bridge too far. They had like puke and vomit and fart. Stuff like that. It's like, come on, what are we
No, but-
Disgusting flavors.
No, but what is that? Nobody. I mean,
I agree.
That's a joke.
a
That's
bridge
a
too far?
game that legitimately kids play it. My little boy loves to have the mixed bag of some are okay, but some are disgusting. Like, what? Who's the winner of this? Why would you play this game? Somehow he duped my poor old 85-year-old mother into playing this game. But vile flavors, really vile.
Vomit.
He
But
just said puke and diarrhea. Like what?
literally, those are the flavors.
But
Those
what-
are literally the flavors, and people ingest them on purpose.
Not on purpose.
Hold on.
No, as a prank. Your mother didn't do that on
No,
purpose.
no. It is a game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tony. Isn't it? You open the bag and then you blind taste these, and like you either get it's Russian roulette with flavors.
Yeah, jelly bean roulette. You've never played? I mean,
No,
come on.
I have not, because why would I on purpose?
Oh, it's a blast.
Risk eating something that tastes like poop.
That's
why
just
would
some
I do that?
good, wholesome fun as a teenager.
Nope.
What does diarrhea taste like?
You don't want to know.
I mean, diarrhea.
Watered down?
I imagine that you feel like you have the bad smell from a toilet sort of in your ears and in your face on the inside of, on the inside of your being.
Some of the official flavors include stinky socks, rotten egg, toothpaste, canned dog food, boogers, and baby wipes.
Toothpaste has got to be like, what am I
What in
doing in
hell?
there?
What in hell? Why would you do that? Dan, which candy flavor best approximates the fruit upon which it's based, and which is the furthest away. And this isn't an evaluation if it's ultimately of quality. Like, as a for instance, let me start this off with grape flavor candy is a universal flavor. The same, no matter what brand it is, the grape flavor will always taste the same. And yet, it tastes like no real grape I've ever had.
Off of the top of my head, I feel like the lime doesn't really approximate the lime the way you would like, but the lemon does. The lemon on a jelly bean generally tastes like lemon. The orange also has, pretty decent properties on the fruit. Can we get the video, please, of the bear trying to break into the jelly bean? And I recognize this jelly bean brand, but off the top of my head, I don't know the name of the brand of jelly bean that this bear is trying to break into the machine of. But this is my favorite brand of jelly bean. What is the name of that?
That one is Jelly Belly.
That is my favorite. That is,
It's the
it
best.
seems to be a gourmet jelly bean. It seems to be, I don't know how they make these jelly beans better than the other jelly beans, but I believe that you guys, when you judge my Jelly Bean Hall of Fame induction, I believe what you guys are doing is you guys are eating cheap jelly beans. You're not eating these gourmet jelly beans with all of these flavors. I don't know how they do it, but they do it very well.
So you're a big fan of Jelly Belly then, Dan. Okay, you can try their disgusting flavors that are as follows. Tobacco juice. It's obviously tobacco spit.
Why would anyone, like, there can't be a
vomit.
market for this.
There's
can't
acid
be.
reflux. You can try used chewing gum, moldy bread, dead fish, obviously farts, flat soda, spoiled milk, kitty litter, dirty gym socks, BO, morning breath, sperm.
I'm sorry?
Morning breath.
Morning breath, yeah.
Oh,
It's a bad
okay.
one.
Okay.
The video of the bear trying to break into the Jelly Belly machine reminds me of what I believe to be the longest standing argument that I had with the producers of our television show at ESPN. Highly Questionable was on the air almost 10 years, and I was always trying to argue on behalf of, please, let's make it sillier, please, let's make it stupider. And I remember the first time I had the argument was I was I was substitute hosting on Pardon the Interruption, and I was seeing for the first time a bear fall out of a tree onto a trampoline. And I said to the producers, we have to lead with that. And they're like, Dan, it's Masters Week. And I'm like, yeah, we have to lead with the bear falling out of the tree. Trust me when I tell you, the people who are here for sports are going to stay here for sports. If they're watching ESPN, they probably want sports. And that was their argument too. Dan, the people who want sports, they want sports. They don't want the silliness of a tranquilized bear
No.
falling out of
I'm
a
not okay with this.
trampoline. You're not okay
It
with
should be
this?
blurred.
So this is the backstory on the trampoline bear, because this is a great video. They've tranquilized it because it's too high up in the tree and it can't get down. And they thought they had a good idea because they put a trampoline there hoping that when the bear landed, it would then again bounce and land on the trampoline. Unfortunately, the bear weighs a great deal. The bear went high in the air and the bear did not come straight down. The bear then fell to the side of the trampoline on its side, but successful.
I see on its face.
The bear is on the side of its face, but the bear is still alive. And it seems while it's at the height of the trampoline bounce, it seems like it's also awake, but then it hits the ground and you realize, well, no, that bear is not awake. They have tranquilized the bear. You guys agree that should be leading. If you've discovered that video, that needs to lead whatever kind of show you're doing, even if it's the ABC Nightly News.
Before I answer that question, I'm going to push back on what you said, which is the tranquilizer knocked the bear out. No, I believe the ground did, Dan. Look at this right here. It's awake, boing, it's awake, and then
Oh, I don't believe it's awake. I believe the trampoline makes it look like it's awake. But look at how this is. You got to still, the place that I want the still, stop it and freeze it, please, on the spot where just as it's going down the first time and about to land on the trampoline, it looks like it is absolutely desiring of, like, I'm going to have some fun. I'm a bear, and I'm going to have some fun on this trampoline. Many of you are discovering this for the first time. Can you tell me, though, please, you guys don't believe the jelly bean is a first ballot candy Hall of Famer?
Not for me, but I'll accept it. And I like my fruit flavors and I like my chocolates, dark if you please. But that bear, first of all, you couldn't sell it in Masters Week as some sort of a metaphor about the golden bear, Jack Nicklaus? You think that would be your in?
There was no amount of sales that I could do that could push them off their position. They're like, Dan, happy trails or nothing else. Like you get it at the end of the show, and that's just because we're saying goodbye and we're done with all the very serious stuff that we have done before
well,
this.
It's jarring, though, because for those of us who have been watching movies and TV for the last 50 years, we've never seen a fictionalized version of somebody jumping out of a window or tree and not being successfully caught by the firefighters. They always retrieve him. This was a failure.
You guys have really hurt my feelings here on making me feel alone on the Jelly Bean being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You killed your only ally. You took out a sword and
I don't want him as an ally, though, when he's saying something that I'm saying ICE agents, I'd be okay with them arresting him or
I'm
worse.
half Cuban. You got to stop doing
or
this.
worse. Or worse. Arresting him or worse. That's how bad that take is. The root beer cannot be your favorite Jelly Bean flavor. This is Samson-esque. And Samson thinks that the black licorice is the best Jelly Bean flavor.
He can't taste it.
Now he can't taste it. But back when he had taste and COVID hadn't taken his taste and smell, which plenty of people in my life believe he's just doing that for attention. They don't actually believe him because it doesn't make sense that David Sampson is still claiming he can't taste and can't smell, but still eats an unbelievable amount of fattening foods. Like, if you can't taste and smell, my guess is you'd go to broccolini and broccoli and salads and you wouldn't bother. You'd just do healthy stuff. You wouldn't be bothering. He still has a bag of candy and he can't taste it.
Guys, I'm going to seize upon something Dan said because what Dan, I think, wanted to say was many people are questioning whether it's real or he's doing it for attention. But what Dan actually said was many people in my life, which means these are personal connections. We'd like to know some names, Mr. Le Batard.
The reason I said it the way that I did is because I'm protecting those people.
My skeptical friends.
His sources.
From
Is one of those
Samson.
people the man in the mirror, Dan?
No, I'm not one of them, actually. I had never considered it until they brought me their skepticism, and I'm like, well, and they're like, he's doing it for
think he's
attention.
But your point checks out. Of course, why would he, if he, in fact, does not have taste, why would you ingest candy then?
Doesn't make any sense to me. Even as a habit, he walks around.
But
as
you have no opinion. You're saying still other people saying it. You have this sound thought, but you don't buy that Samson might be up to no good.
I didn't say I didn't have an opinion. You've now coaxed it out of me with a great deal of interrogation. I didn't have the thought before it was presented to me, and now I do have the thought that can't be so. That it's not, no one is that craving of attention that they would fake the I can't taste or smell in order to get
an icebreaker?
Like, it's just,
Hey, I can't taste or smell, guys. What's up? My name's Dave.
This is the exact plot to the movie Inception. Like someone said, how do we get Dan to have the idea? So they went into your dreams 3 levels deep, Dan, and put the idea in your head. And now the idea is your idea that David Sampson is doing this for attention. Congratulations, guys. We did it. I can go home now.
we have been discussing in the faintest of terms the idea of the Hall of Fame, and I wanted to bring up something here that Jeff Passan is doing, because Jeff Passan is essentially in baseball what it is that there aren't many of these baseball insiders. There are fewer than there are in football by miles, and basketball has more than baseball does. But do we consider Jeff Passan the preeminent guy? Is it Tim Kirchin? Is it Buster Olney? Like, who is now considered the preeminent baseball information person?
It feels like Passan, and to distinguish the baseball guys from the football guys, it does feel like they veer into, or they blend their insider stuff with some punditry informed by actual knowledge. Do you agree with that? I feel like now Adam Schefter, and I don't mean to just call him out, but I feel like this role of being an insider has become now the transcriber of what agents and teams want to be shared with the public. But now it feels to me like, I don't know if Schefter chose this or ESPN chose this, but now he's sort of in the seat of like, evaluate this team's prospects for the 2020. Who asked for Adam Schefter's insight on how good a team is going to be in a given season? Whereas it's natural, starting with Peter Gammons on.
The argument can be made, and I don't remember who it is that made it, but they said some form of Adam Schefter is no longer a journalist. Adam Schefter is a mailbox. I don't. You guys can look it up. I want to credit the person. I don't want to steal the joke. But I just heard this was surprising to me the other day. Wilbon came out and said Stephen A. is no longer a journalist. He just said, and that one had to at least wound Stephen A. a little bit, just because
responded.
Well, just because it's Wilbon. Like, he respects Wilbon so much. There aren't a lot of people in the world who I think can actually hurt Stephen A.'s feelings because he respects them so much. And Wilbon saying that as one of our mentors is something that I can imagine that Stephen A. wouldn't like very much. We can get both Wilbon's comments and Stephen A.'s response here. But the Jeff Passan story, he gave up his Hall of Fame vote because of a letter that was roughly 1,200 words written by the late Joe Morgan, possibly the best second baseman that there has ever been. And Passan's quote is, he was essentially saying to all the voters, this place is sacred. Do not let in people who are going to ugly it up. And I'm sitting there like, there's some real pieces of shit in the Hall of Fame already. Terrible, terrible people. And you're telling me that Barry Bonds, because he chose to pursue an area of the game that was beyond things, that makes him worse than Ty Cobb? That makes him worse than people who are racist? What are your thoughts here, Damashek?
Well, the immediate response is that we need to send all these halls of fame where they belong, back to the 20th century and on top of Mount Pius. This rolling sort of evaluation of morality and whether or not someone has earned it, when we know who's already in all these halls of fame, means that they're rendered now in this weird, murky place where we should just do away with them and start fresh, Dan. My idea is goodbye halls of fame. Hello, Hall of All. Let's start nice and new. How say you? Let's figure out the 20 or 25 names in our inaugural class, and we're not going to evaluate them based on morality. We're going to evaluate them based on their deeds between the lines. How say you?
Well, I gave up my Hall of Fame vote because of the way that it was being done to keep out Barry Bonds. And I'm like, you can't keep the best baseball player I've ever seen out of the place that honors baseball excellence. Like, you can't be so moral about this stuff as sports writers that you are somebody who's guarding the gates to the Hall of Fame and ignoring the greatest of the baseball players who have ever played. And the greatest of the baseball players who have ever played, if I took away all of his MVP seasons and all of the numbers from his MVP seasons, he'd still have 400 home runs and 400 stolen bases, which no other player has done. So he was a Hall of Famer before he inflated and his head got big and whatever it is you think steroids were doing to his body, when he was just doing steroids to keep up with Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, who weren't as good as he was.
Dan, when you gave up your vote, did you give us a big announcement that I'm giving up my vote because this? Did you do that?
I mean, yeah.
Enough. Get out of here.
He had a press conference up on Mount Pius. I don't know how you
There you go. That's exactly what that is. It's a press conference on Mount Pius. You and Jeff Passan and everybody else who's like, come in, come on, come on, hear ye. I am renouncing my Hall of Fame vote henceforth. Thank you. Thank you. Cherish me.
But I didn't do it quite like having a press conference. Do you not know this story? Like, I think it's the first time I got in trouble at ESPN.
I know that you raffled it. I thought you were being silly. I didn't know you had like an actual moral stance behind it.
I was being silly, but it's still a moral stance behind it. I was being silly. I sold it to Deadspin for, and I didn't actually take any money. I sold it, quote unquote, sold it.
Yeah, so giving it to Deadspin, like, watch this piss everybody off. I love that. That's the mythology I grew up on.
But they wanted an explanation. They wanted a written explanation for why it is that I was doing that.
That's when you went up to Mount Pius.
People go up to Mount Pius. It's the peak of sanctimony, understand. It gives you the right point of view to look down on all the rest of us, the mere human beings, so you can evaluate us. Listen, it's so deep with your peer group, Dan, that the commitment to being self-righteous trumps the actual Hall of Fame. It's amazing. Imagine what father would take his child who likes baseball. Let's go to the Hall of Fame. Where's the home run king, Dad? Well, he's not in here. He's not in here. Well, okay. Well, then can you show me the guy who has the most hits in the sports? Well, he's also not in here. How about the most dominant pitcher of the last half century? Yeah, also not. What the hell are we doing here then? Why did you drag me here? Because here's Harold Baines. He was pretty good for the White Sox for a few years.
The way that this story played out, for those of you who do not know it, because I'm pretty sure it's the first time that I got in trouble at ESPN after being full-time at ESPN. And the reason that it got people so upset, and I think this is also the first time that Skipper ever got mad at me personally, is because Deadspin and ESPN were at war, and I was doing something with the enemy because Deadspin had done some things to embarrass Skipper's mentor, and so I was doing something that was actively with ESPN's enemy. But, and this part is funny that it gets forgotten, I told Deadspin that I would only do that if their person who they already had giving them the vote backed out. And that person then backed out. Like, they had somebody until the last minute, and I wasn't going to be any part of that. I was just going to give up my Hall of Fame vote quietly. But then they had their person, whoever was supposed to do it, backed out. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. And my reasoning was exactly what it is that he's saying, which is we can't have the sports writers being so drunk on their power that they're assigning moral judgments to people who are competing against each other, when all of us, if you gave us a fountain of youth and everyone around us was also using that fountain of youth in a competitive field, very few of us would say, no, never mind. I don't need that. I'll try and compete against all the cheaters on just my natural gifts and see if I just thought the whole thing was stupid. But a hall of all seems like you're taking out not just the pious, but the special.
Well, you start out with this thought. Why did the framers of the first Hall of Fame, whatever it was, why did they go with fame over great, over exceptional? Why did they go with fame as the honorific?
It's a great question. It doesn't even make any sense why they would go with fame, especially since that, well, now it would make sense because it's the greatest of the currencies. But it wasn't in the 20s. Like, fame, Babe Ruth didn't even have a way to be famous. He's just coming to your town, and no one even knows how to find out that he's coming to your town because they're getting it by telegram. Hall of Fame? Why is it the Hall of Fame?
I'm fascinated by the idea that people would go to baseball games. Keep in mind, Dan, there were no lights, and so games by definition were played during the day, and they were played Monday through Friday as well as on the weekends. Who's going to these games? How did baseball make it? People were just listening on the radio at work, and kids after school were. Who were these people sitting in the stands day after day?
Well, the first Hall of Fame was German, but you also probably don't want me to say that.
You know what?
El Rootbeer.
2 minutes in the box. Peste tremenda come mierda.
They have a jelly bean for that.
This is the quote from Michael Wilbon to Stephen A. Smith. Stop. You're not a journalist anymore. You're not doing what you did at the Philadelphia Inquirer. Stop, dude. I know what you did there because I was shoulder to shoulder with you at press row and in press boxes and at practice. Stephen A. is a show. He knows it. He wants to be the show, and he's doing a damn good job at it. That's what he wants to be. He has now spawned a whole generation of people who want to be the show. Good for Stephen A.
Then, if you want to hear it, we've got the response from Stephen A. right here.
Okay, let's see if we have some hurt from him in this response, because I have not heard the response.
Yeah, here it goes. I'm going to play right here. Boy, do they make a habit of mentioning me all the time. I don't know how many times a day or per week I'm on their website. I do know, and I can easily surmise, that clearly my name drives traffic. It keeps their website afloat.
Wilbon's website, he doesn't know what a website is. He doesn't know how to get to a website. He's never been on a website. He doesn't do anything with websites.
There's more, Dan. When I say to an athlete that will come at me or anybody else's sports that I'm a journalist, I'm talking about by trade and nature. I'm talking about a body of work that spans decades. No, I don't have to do that anymore. I've graduated. There are journalists, there are columnists. There's columnists and there's commentators and radio hosts. Everything comes with it. But the point is, responsibilities change, but the nature of who you are isn't.
He is 100% right on that, and he is parsing things that nobody in the world cares about except for journalists, because he's making distinctions on hierarchy that I agree with, but absolutely most people that are watching don't make some sort of distinction between even the information person and the opinion giver, never mind graduating from columnist. But he's not wrong that the columnist used to be the greatest position at the newspaper because you were allowed the freedom of giving your opinion.
But because I'm not a beat writer anymore in the locker room, folks want to say I'm not a journalist. You don't get the right to say that Mike Wilbon does, because Mike Wilbon has done it. And I get where Michael Wilbon is coming from, because he's speaking in a literal sense about what I do right now.
I think that's pretty lucid on Stephen A's part. He understands that he is not, except that he goes back to, except that I am still a journalist. No, you're not. You're a pundit now. You're just an opinion giver. And I disagree with you, Dan, that the average person doesn't care. I think lumping everybody who talks into a microphone or issues opinion or is a reporter all being blended together is part of the confusion. The greatest thing, I don't give him credit as though it was an intellectual choice, but Donald Trump a decade ago demonizing the media and saying you can't trust them, they're lying to you, not me, and apparently the national political media being no better equipped to respond to what Donald Trump charged them with than what the New York City gossip columnist of the 80s has been really the fundamental, the first strike that really set
But
all
what are you
this up.
disagreeing with me on? I don't believe that the grand majority of people listening to this who are tired of me talking about the importance of journalism, even though they're here for this show, at
Tell
least
them
in
what
part,
it is. Tell them the difference.
the distinction.
Yes, people don't know what it is.
Well,
Tell them.
I didn't know what it was until I started my career at the Miami Herald, and one of the things that was happening is I was reporting on some of the things that the University of Miami football players were doing that were viewed by a great many people as the wrong things, a program out of control, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I did that as a reporter. I had no opinion on those things. I was just reporting the facts. And then when I graduated to columnist, I was allowed to defend those players in a way that wasn't just reporting on the facts. It was reported facts combined with my perspective and my opinion. It was something that the Herald gave me. I was too young to have it. My voice was not formed. I was not an adult. I was in my early 20s. I shouldn't have been a columnist that early in my career, but that was the greatest job that you can have in newspapering. And then what happened, and this is the part that I don't think people care very much about, but it's what happened. Because Kornheiser's been saying for 20 years that he's not a journalist, that he's a yodeler. All of the newspaper guys were bought as watchdogs by ESPN. They used to be watchdogs, and they were bought because the cotton candy of television's vanities are intoxicating, and there's better money in television than there is in newspapers, and so they killed the sports section.
Juju, put it on the poll. Is Tony Kornheiser a yodeler?
That's a good reference that he's making as an old person. Tony Kornheiser, another one of these people who has been old since he was young.
Juju, put it also on the poll. Do you know what a yodeler is? Because I feel like this is a very 20 CB term. Yeah. In the 20th century, yodeling was huge. Anytime anyone was in a valley or a mountain, you had to. Yodeler. You had to do that. Now, I don't know if do my kids know what yodeling is? I have no idea.
I think you learned it primarily through commercials.
Cartoons and commercials.
Ricola, right? I think that's what really...
I learned it through The Price is Right.
Ah, right.
I did not know what yodeling was until
Maybe
The Price is
the
Right.
best. Is that the best Price
I
is
think
Right
The Price
game?
is Right is still is the only place where it's being kept alive. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Was yodeling huge in the 20th century? Because I don't think yodeling was ever huge.
Juju, put it on the poll. Does the Price is Right keep anything alive?
So they would have people yodel on the show? I don't get it.
No, there's a game that they play where, there's a certain climbing of a mountain that that's a very poor rendition of it.
That's what they would do on the show?
The game was called Cliffhangers.
I'm a Pittsburgh Jew. How would I know how to yodel? I did my best.
It was unnecessary. I wasn't asking you to do your best. No one would.
PJ.
That's pretty good.
So they would do that on the show, and you guys watched it?
See if you can find, Roy, anywhere in your data bank the ability to play for the people. This is when we come back from break, okay? I am going to play for you. You're going to take back, Tony. Your ignorance is showing right now. You are waving your flag of ignorance. It's just a poll with no flag
If that's
on it.
what's happening, I don't want to watch it.
Okay, no, it's not. Damn it! You will learn both how poorly Damashek just did the yodeling and why The Price is Right is indeed keeping yodeling alive. Basic ass bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, make sure you're not late. It's time for Zaslow's World Cuck update.
I mean, I don't know what that was. Trying to do a World Cup update. What the hell you doing there? I do have a few more things I want to say, Dan, as far as the World Cup is concerned. Now, because yesterday was the final round of 16 game. You know what comes next? You know what's next after round of 16?
I cannot believe how electric this World Cup has been.
It really has
So
been.
good.
We finally have the good matches that give life to this being one of the greatest tournaments of all time. We were missing those bangers. And Argentina in back-to-back matches give us instant classic after instant
The
classic.
Cabo Verde game was insane.
Against all-time African underdogs. They run up against the greatest player at the tail end of his career, still having enough for one last
Mike,
job.
let me tell you what, that 13 on Cabo, what a shot.
This is
Shot of the
incredible.
tournament.
Oh,
Did you see it
world-
bend?
And how about those fans?
Did you see
It
it
was
bend,
a
Dan?
literal movie.
It was crazy.
He runs into the sand,
Gets
finds
over.
his lady.
Boom.
That's how you end the movie, folks. That is
He was looking,
unbelievable.
and the security was like, no, go back. And he's like,
That's
no,
love.
no, where is she?
That's love right there.
She's got to know also to come down the stairs. What are you doing?
I'm the one who's doing this.
Your second topic, Zaz. Do you have another World Cuck topic?
Well, I'll tell you what. All right, I don't know why you're saying it like that. But anyway, I have other things that I want to talk about. You know what? You can't take this away from me. I don't know if you saw this past Monday night.
CM Punk returns to WWE. After months away and all sorts of rumor and innuendo, he's not on the right side with TKO, comes back in his hometown of Chicago and beats Sami Zayn, whose title reign lasts about a week. Much fanfare in Chicago.
CM Punk related to Daft Punk at all?
No, not at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but CM
Daft Punk's good, though.
Not unlike Messi, later in his career, finding top
gets
form,
to talk about this
his
instead
body
of me.
looking incredible.
Hit
You know what
that
this might
guy.
set up? Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk at SummerSlam.
Greg Cody Rhodes.
I'm
Hello.
going to SummerSlam. I want
There
to
you
talk
go.
about this.
Well done, Jeremy.
Your third topic, Zaslow,
gotten the
of
laugh.
this World Cuck update.
You know what? Actually, I'll allow you to call it that here because there's a movie that just came out that I want to watch. It's by our pal Billy Corbin. It's called God
That's
forbid.
not just coming out. It's
5
the
years
most
ago.
popular documentary in the history
It
of Hulu.
just came out.
No, I mean,
Dan,
it was
you saw the
several
movie.
years
What did
ago.
you
It
think?
was excellent.
God
Yeah,
was-
why don't you have a turn here?
It went.
You got a pre-screening?
It went deeper into religious power and cuckery than I've ever seen a documentary. I didn't get an advanced
How
screening.
cliche, a pool boy.
This movie, yes, and distinctly Cuban pool boy, like just not actually a pool man, a very pool boy, a Cuban kid who's not fully grown up, who was having sex with the wife of Jerry Falwell's sons, the president of Liberty University, his wife, and he liked to watch it in a corner of the room while he was wearing very little clothing.
This is why it's called World Cup.
All right, get back in this seat here. Get back in the seat here that is a prominently featured seat. That concludes our first ever World Cup update.
Number 29, Jimmy Graham.
Wow.
Number 28, I Show Speed.
Ah, come on.
Can I
Taz is your boy.
Not my boy.
Can I take a quibble with your list real quick? Just let me take a quibble. How is Jimmy Graham ahead of Tony Gonzalez? Like, what are you doing?
I think Jimmy Graham was a better college basketball player.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that dude ate glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And neck is a tight end.
And like they were only separated.
Neck and neck is a tight end,
Not
Dan.
neck-
Yeah,
no,
they're-
Look at Jimmy Graham's seasons, Dan.
No, Tony Gonzalez is better, but like in terms of the back of the, I mean, Jimmy Graham just casually started playing football, dude.
Right.
I think like the ease that it came to be an all timer separates them, and again, they're only separated by Jameis Winston on this list. Yes, but they're both behind I Show Speed. Number 27, Kenny Lofton.
You've fallen in love with I Show Speed.
I think it's an incredible story.
You've
The guy-
come around on him.
No,
Stupid story.
I've always been in on him. The guy was barking at people in front of like a couple dozen Twitch streamers, and then he's playing before the World Cup. It's an incredible story. It's an incredible American story.
What was he playing?
He was playing one of his songs.
You haven't been always in on him. You've been what Zaz is presently, where you were saying to yourself, what is it about this guy? And then the first time you actually got informed, you're like, oh, I get it.
No, the first time that I put effort into like watching it and the stuff that he does, and admittedly,
What's he do?
It's not for me. It's skewed to a younger audience, but he's a master when it comes to engagement, and it's also like he doesn't have the chops. Like he puts himself out there, things that can embarrass him. I think the production when he goes on tours, it's some of the great organic content that's out there, really genuine funny moments that come from improvisational skills. His team around him is incredible with the content. Don't
He waved
Yeah,
his
I
hand.
did.
No, I think when he goes on tour,
I shooed you.
he gets like Michael Jackson level reaction.
Really? He gets Michael Jackson
Yes.
level reaction?
Yes, he
Michael
does.
Jackson.
Yes.
The king of pop.
Yes, he does.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael
There's
Jackson.
Michael Jackson, and there's I Show
Yeah.
Speed. Similar response.
Similar response.
Similar
You don't
crowd
know ball.
reactions.
You don't know ball.
Michael Jackson.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings Sports. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
So the helpful researchers of this show have just gone deep into the data bank to find what some of the people were saying when it is that I lost my Hall of Fame vote. And Bruce Hooley of ESPN Cleveland wrote at the time, instead of Dan Le Batard is highly questionable, a more appropriate name would be Dan Le Batard is petulantly arrogant.
PA would be the name of the show.
The baseball writers got really mad at me, thus proving my point that they're a sensitive group of gas bags who didn't like very much the idea that their power would be questioned in a way that made them prickly. Let's get the sound, please, of a mean yodeling here so we can hear some poor yodeling. Let's get an example here of Damashek yodeling so we can get an example of poorer yodeling. No one would... And now let's get Price is Right's cliffhanger.
I feel like Dave's been to many an Oktoberfest festival in Pittsburgh where they were playing this kind of music and they were dressed in lederhosen and shit like that.
So, in other words, you apologize for attacking me because I was pretty close. Pretty close, Dan.
I didn't attack you. Dan did.
Play his again. I want to hear it. Dave's.
No one would.
It's pretty close.
You want to Jerry Orbach it here, Dan? Say when you're wrong? Remember talking to Swayze at the end?
You think that I'm wrong after listening to what it is that you did against what it is that Cliffhanger does?
I don't know what language they're speaking when they're yodeling, but I think my impression was pretty spot on.
No one would.
Is that the kind of yodeling that you guys think of when you hear yodeling? Not Dave's, but like the Price is Right yodeling? Because I always think of the yodeling. Hee-hoo. Yeah. That's like the generic yodel, right? Yep.
He just brought up a great question, though. Is it Swedish? Like, what is yodel?
Swiss.
What is the language? That is the language.
Swiss Alps.
I like that Amin has cast himself as the expert on this. Well, no, that's a more generic form of yodeling. What do you know? You don't know what you're talking about.
You are giving off real expertise here.
Because I know about yodeling?
You don't know about it. That's the point.
Let's have a yodel off.
We just did, and his
I
was
won.
He did. In retrospect, he did. It seemed like he won.
Why did he win?
It was closer to what the Price is Right's version is than you were.
I never said I was doing the Price is Right.
But that's the only modern version of yodeling that we have anywhere in pop culture.
Put it on the poll, Juju. Is yodeling?
No, that's not yodeling. I mean, ironic or otherwise. Yodel-e-ho is not yodeling.
It's who, not ho.
Yodeling.
It's who, see at the end, not ho.
That's what a movie character does in the 40s. Yodel-e-hoo. That's not what yodeling is.
The English word yodel is derived from the German word jodeln, but you probably don't want me to say that, Dan.
What I don't want you to say is that the root beer is the greatest of the jelly beans.
It's just obvious.
There's just no one who agrees with that.
That's not true. That's just look. You can threaten ice on me. You can't lie right to my face.
No one thinks that, Jeremy. No one thinks the root beer.
There are dozens of us, Dan.
Jeremy's had a thing about root beer for a while. He drinks diet root beer all the time. He's got
root beer zero. I love root beer zero. Yeah, zero sugar root beer. The root beer Dum Dum is the best of the Dum Dums. The root beer Jelly Bean is the best. Anything root beer, it's a great flavor.
No, we all know that the best flavor of jelly bean is the buttered popcorn.
What?
That's right. Buttered popcorn.
You gonna call ice on him or?
It's not as bad as yours. It's offensive, but it's not the same kind of offensive.
Buttered popcorn.
It is offensive.
I mean,
it's still offensive. If I wanted buttered popcorn flavor, you know what I'd have? Buttered popcorn.
Right.
I don't need it with candy. I'm not searching for it. And I also if I want the buttered popcorn flavor, I want it with salt. I don't want it with jelly bean that does not give me salt but gives me sugar. Imagine going to the movie theater, having buttered popcorn and pouring sugar all over your buttered popcorn. That's why that's also offensive. Can you get for me the sound though from our friend Jason Benetti? Because I want to put in front of people a couple of examples of play-by-play well done. Baseball allows you more room, certainly more room than hockey. Hockey has no room to do this. Basketball has very little room to do this. Football is too sacred to do much of this. But baseball gives you the room where Jason Benetti can do play-by-play that is silly, but also I want to play for you some play-by-play in color that I think somehow is better than Benetti's, and I rarely think that any play-by-play or color is better than Benetti's. But let's just start the bidding with Detroit Tigers announcer and friend of the show, Jason Benetti.
I will just use shampoo for the shower, just use shampoo only.
But no soap on your body?
Sometimes, you know.
No way.
Just use shampoo.
I can't believe you're serious right now.
Yeah, it's just a lot easier to just have one product. You don't need like 10 bottles of different stuff, and ointments and potions.
Nobody's
and
asked you to use ointments or potions.
I didn't know they were different.
Where are you on this, Damashek? We've talked about this before. Greg Cody has no problem using shampoo in the pool as his means of bathing. And Damashek has made the argument before that all soaps of all kinds are the same.
Yeah, make some room in the garage. We're overflowing with all-purpose soap or shampoo. And do I need to say or no, because they're the exact same thing. Shampoo and soap equal each other. You're a dupe if you don't understand that.
You're an
in the
insane
year of the
person.
Lord 2026. Come on. And don't get me started on conditioner.
Your quality of life is worse by choice.
Conditioner is the real ruse. That's the real, and how you know it is, because about like 10, 20 years or so ago, they used to have conditioner in all the hotel rooms. And then they realized, wait, we tried to pull this bit on society, and they're buying the shampoo, and this is going, we had soap, but then we had shampoo. It's soap for your hair, and society bought it. Wow, let's see how far we can push this thing. Conditioner now. Now, this further helps your hair part of your body. And then people tried it for probably a generation, and then they're like, what are we doing? Why am I putting conditioner in my hair on top of the shampoo? And then they said, boy, we got a warehouse full of all this conditioner. Nobody's buying it. They're on to us. Well, we better figure out a use for it. Then they started putting the conditioner in with the shampoo. Damashek doesn't use it at all. No, soap. Soap's the way to go.
You only use soap.
No, I mean, listen, I'll dance. I'll dance for everybody. I'll use a little shampoo here and there, but I have no problem using the body wash in my hair. That's fine. There's no reason you'd need to shampoo. What are you, a prince?
What's worse, shampoo as a body wash or body wash as a shampoo?
I have a number of different questions before I get to this play-by-play that I believe to be better than Jason Benetti's, and I do not give that compliment very often. But I don't think that the conditioner is a ruse, as Damashek says. I believe that the conditioner, when I put it in my hair, feels different than anything else
Feels nice.
I put in my hair. And also, it does indeed seem to make my hair feel much softer than just shampoo does.
Whatever you're doing's working, Dan. Look at that. So wait, you are conditioning on a daily basis?
I'm not conditioning on a daily basis because I do not, I do not condition on a daily basis, but I do shampoo on a daily basis.
So I had this situation happen to me. We have 2 bathrooms at the house, and then we bathed the baby in one, and then my wife, who took a bath in the other, took the soap out of the bath. So I go in, as normal, as I usually do, bare as Dave Damashek, walk in, start doing my thing. All of a sudden I look, there's no soap. I'm like, all right, what do I do here? Shampoo only. So how do you shampoo as my soap for one night? Dan, I was slick as a dolphin.
You can't get it off you.
Can't get it off me.
Like that's happened before. We're like, oh, ran out, but use what I got, and it's just like it won't wash off.
I've used shampoo as soap if I don't have soap, but I would not use conditioner as
It's like a killer whale, Dan.
as soap because it would make me a porpoise.
I feel, and I think Amin can agree with me here, the conditioner situation is two Americas.
Two Americas.
Two Americas. I don't use conditioner. I'm sure Amin doesn't use conditioner. It's not. I don't think it's a black thing.
Well, Dan only uses it apparently on special occasions. I don't know what requires.
No.
Oh, you know what? Tonight I'm feeling special. Conditioner it is.
Not every place that I shower has conditioner, and so it's not on special occasions. But I would like to ask the question here, revealing my ignorance of Two Americas. You and Amin also don't have very poofy hair like me or Damashek. So is that not one of the things involved? If you guys were to grow out afros, would then conditioner be something that you would like a little bit better than in your present skull state?
So I remember I had my hair grown out a couple of years ago, right around the pandemic. I don't use a conditioner in the shower, but like there's a leave-in conditioner like for the curls to pop and all that stuff. But that's not what I think we're talking about, right? In the shower, the thing that he's talking about, that you pump in there and you're like...
It's sort of the same thing, though, whether it's leave-in conditioner or conditioner from the shower, it's not a great deal different. Like, you can wash it out, but you don't seem to even know what I'm talking about with conditioner in the shower.
Now, that's what you're talking about.
Hey!
The hair, I think Damashek has this wrong, though. Shampoo does not leave your hair as soft as conditioner does. It simply does not. That's not, I'm not making that up. That's not an illusion. That's not because Big Conditioner has me fooled with their warehouses full of what you're saying is unused conditioner that they've now had to throw into shampoo.
Now you sound like Aaron Rodgers.
Whoa, wait, hey, whoa.
Thank you for leading me to the segue of Aaron Rodgers, because I did want to actually address something from that conversation that he threw out there, because I have been informed that the criticism of me was louder than I experienced it at the beginning, wherever it is both our audience and others are mad at me for not talking more about the Diana Rossini situation. And I saw that among all of the things that Aaron Rodgers listed in his grievances that got a great deal of applause from many people, I think the top of the list on getting applause was the idea that Aaron Rodgers was doing on ESPN's network criticism of ESPN. I think that's the greatest applause that he got from a certain segment of the population. Then second greatest was him just going after Fauci. But one of the other points that he made was that ESPN didn't cover at all Rossini and Mike Vrabel. And one of the reasons that I was silent about it, or mostly silent about it, beyond just my friendship with Diana and beyond thinking it would be enough to reveal to you guys, hey, I've got this conflict here that I'm going to be biased. I'm going to be transparent about what my biases are and think that it bought me something. The chief reason that I did not talk about that at all is you guys go ahead and give me all the examples when the mainstream media is covering the infidelity of coaches throughout the history of time. Like, I thought the rules changed right there. Everyone was okay where the internet changed all of that. This happened to Tiger Woods. Like, Tiger Woods was like, hey, I can behave like Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan in private, right? No, not anymore. You can't. Not once your car gets hit with a golf club by your wife, all of a sudden you're going to get all of the coverage that comes with this happened in public, and therefore we're entitled to dissect your marriage in a way that we never would have before, because that's not how we covered athletes. Go ahead and give me all the examples you guys have of infidelities of coaches being something that's covered in the mainstream media, which made it then something that you weren't covering it because it was Vrabel. You were covering it because it was Rossini. And the journalism is something that makes it different. The conflict and the journalism is something that makes it different. But the place where I recused myself was, I'm not going to be commenting on pictures taken by the New York Post when my friend is still denying that this is so. Not until I get more information.
I have two examples, Patino and Petrino.
So both of them have public incidents beforehand. Petrino wrecked his motorcycle and had a fellow employee on it. So the police were involved. Patino's involved details that everyone enjoyed because they were sordid, and it was an action that happened in a restaurant and involved also a whole scandal involving abortion and a whole bunch of other things that people enjoyed eating up. But even as you have a couple of examples, they're still outliers. It's not generally something that we've done as a standard on how we covered things. And I'm sitting out the idea of like, nah, man, you fine. Have at it. The internet has changed the rules, and the internet's going to have fun with this. But I understood why ESPN sat that one out, because it's not something they've ever covered before.
Yeah, it's sordid. It's This one's different, obviously, because of Diana's presence in this. It's not just guy cheats on his wife. It's guy cheats on his wife with someone who is tasked with covering the sport. And the reality is, when you think of this is a media story more than anything, right? And I don't mean media story like a media makeup, but like someone on the media beat would cover the story very, like that would be the main coverage. So someone, Andrew Marchand, right, for The Athletic, or was it Ryan Glass-Steagall, right? Like someone like that. Does ESPN even have someone on that beat? I don't believe they do.
I've said since the beginning, and I have been the arrogant, self-appointed ombudsman for ESPN while at ESPN, but one of the big arguments I was having there was, we'd really buy ourselves something at ESPN if we covered ourselves the way that we covered others. Like if we kept covering ourselves the way that we covered others, I do believe there would be value in that. They never agreed with my assessment on that. But this isn't, like we can frame it under that. It's convenient. I mean, like it is the umbrella under which we would hide. Hey, it's because of the journalism element. No, it's not. It's because the standard's different for women. Like it's not, the journalism element is a nice rationalization for covering it differently, but it allows us permission to go after Diana because the standard is different for women on this. Vrabel still hasn't gotten the same. Diana still hasn't talked. Like she still hasn't. I don't even know what's going to happen with what she's going to do with the next steps of her career, and I don't know what kind of advice she's getting on the next steps of her career, on whether it is that she should lean into this or not. But let's have the original conversation that Aaron Rodgers got a great deal of applause because what he seemed to be presenting on ESPN that no one was presenting on ESPN is, look at this hypocrisy that ESPN won't cover this story. It was strange to hear him do it because a number of different reasons, but whoa, you did that to Vrabel. Really, Aaron Rodgers? You did that as a quarterback for an NFL team. You did that to an NFL coach. Haven't seen a whole lot of that in my lifetime on television or in football where a quarterback invites, hey, cover Vrabel a little bit more on this opposing coach. But the idea, Damashek, that this is something that should be covered in the mainstream because the internet has changed the rules, as I sit here losing the fight, by the way, but continuing to say, hey, are we going to keep the standard we've had around here or not? Are we going to, we're going to lower it. Okay, because the people want it. Okay, we're going to keep lowering it. Can I keep fighting the standard? No, you're petulantly arrogant, Le Batard.
All right. I hate to start talking because I may not stop for another 97 minutes here, but I will jump in. First of all, the irony of a quarterback, as you say, in an age when we know everybody's significant other, we know everything that happens. Aaron Rodgers has been married for more than a year now, right? No one has met his wife. Are we supposed to dig in on that as well? How deep are we going to go into Mike Vrabel, how his marriage is impacting his coaching with the New England Patriots is kind of the question. And that is the sort of rational response ESPN could have, right? They could say, we're going to cover somebody who doesn't work, a journalist who doesn't work at ESPN?
Infidelity is the first stop on, I didn't think this was something that we covered. Like I did not believe that the mainstream media treated as a conversation topic on any of the debate shows, on any of the news outlets, infidelity is fair play.
Well, the other thing is, too, I have to say, Dan, I'm sorry, I mean to get in the way because you were talking about it last week, Dan, and I wanted to jump in on the idea of, how far can Kyle Shanahan kick this thing down the road, and does he owe it to anybody? Is he required to be more forthright? Forget about the local police and otherwise. Do the Niners and does Kyle Shanahan owe it to anybody? And I really do think the force of what Pat McAfee is doing at ESPN has basically taken us back about 60 years. It all starts with Muhammad Ali and Howard Cosell being willing to go there with the most famous person on the planet about his religious conversion and him being anti-war and all of that. That gets the ball rolling. Pat McAfee has instituted successfully, listen, sports are supposed to be fun. Let's not talk, we don't need to talk about anything else. So then that makes it awfully ironic that Aaron Rodgers uses that platform with Pat McAfee to then go at everybody. Where's the journalism? It went out the door with this new version of ESPN. That's where it went, man.
One of the things that always happens in our conversations around ESPN is people hear whatever it is that I'm saying critically, and it's simply the idea of they are the standard setters, and I'm hoping to protect the standard. They set it, and I like where it is and how it is they set it, and I like it selfishly because it benefited me a great deal, but that's where the standard was, and I don't think it's wrong as a business to choose in the modern age to you actually put down your sword on, hey, we're going to be about social issues and just say, let's make sports fun and a little dangerous, but not in the dangerous places that you want it. I don't actually object to that in any other way other than to point out, hey, you realize we're lowering the standard here. We set the standard one place and we're changing it. If you're good with that, you're good with that, but I'm less good with that than you are, and I'm going to keep repeating to you guys, know that you're changing the standard.
Speaking of changing the standard and lowering the standard, the show may contain errors, and we have a giant oversight from the first hour, which is that we forgot about the Yodel kid from Walmart. Mason Ramsey. No, I don't know what I do.
That's the modern
It's
yodeler.
my baby, she said goodbye. You don't remember that kid? Oh, my God. Mason Ramsey. You don't remember? This is showing your age, Damashek.
Showing my age. Did it happen
The
in
Yodel
the last
kid?
few years?
He was the most famous kid in America for a good week and a half.
So how does that show my age if I was around?
You're not paying
for it?
attention. You're clearly not paying attention to what's going on in the streets.
So now I'm senile?
In the streets.
I don't even
The
know,
yodeling
I don't
streets.
know what you're talking about. I don't
Dan,
even
you
know
know,
what you're
you know
getting
about
at.
those yodeling streets?
Why you giving me the stink eye, Dan?
I'm not giving you the stink eye. I don't want to look at Jeremy.
You're side-eyeing me. Oh, okay.
No,
thank
you're
you.
you're misreading. You're new here, and you're not around here
I
as
got
much
a
as you
feeling,
need.
got a
I don't. Anytime we lapse into Jeremy doing that, I can't look at it.
Since my
Dan, I'm going to help you here. I'm
baby
going to rescue you. There was
said
another
bye.
incredible play-by-play call, this time from a Phillies auction winner. So he paid to get onto the broadcast. Dan, he was incredible.
We are headed to the third inning. Phillies on top 2-1, and we're pleased to welcome Lewis Kalb from Medford Lakes, New Jersey. He is our Phillies fantastic auction winner. He outbid the competition to spend an inning and do some play-by-play in the booth. And Lewis, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thank you, Scott. It's a thrill to be here. It's a lifelong dream to be in the Phillies broadcast booth. So here we go. Painter with the first pitch to Ortiz. It's in there for strike one call. Phil's with 2 in the bottom of the second to take the lead. As we start the top of the third now, Painter delivers. It's bounced foul towards the Phillies dugout. And they count 1-1. Phillies winning the first 2 games of this series. 1 more to go tomorrow night, and then a 3-game set with the Blue Jays over the weekend. Now Painter delivers. It's a check swing. It's a called strike 3. He got him. So Ortiz down.
And Lewis, you spent your life as a firefighter, police officer?
Neither of those things.
Just guessing.
I've been a substitute teacher in recent years for Nita School in Lakerland. There's a pitch that's lined over shortstop, a base hit for Dylan Cruz, and he reaches first base safely with a 1-out single.
He's got to be a ringer. There's no way this guy walked off the street. First of all, his voice is exactly the kind for radio baseball.
It's perfect, and it's, I think that Hank Azaria has been around a great many hugely talented Hollywood people, and the entire character of Brockmire that he created that is his favorite of all the characters is because the baseball affect is so ridiculous that you can say anything like a baseball broadcaster and be talking differently than any other human being has ever talked. One of the funny things, I don't know if you guys, now I'm in too deep. Hank Azaria, because he came on our show and very innocently said it was hard to get Knicks tickets and that he was in a booth that was scraping the roof of Madison Square Garden with Aaron Judge and Jeremy Strong, an assortment of legitimate celebrities. MSG got mad about that and punished Hank for getting in the headlines because the New York Post immediately took that he said something about Taylor Swift being in the front row and turned it into something that was a controversy that caused Hank real problems, and he blames me, and I'm like, Hank, you've been an adult and a celebrity for 40 years, okay? You've got to know that in the modern age, some of the things that you say are going to get aggregated just because you're a famous person. And his response, and he was right about this, he's like, I should have said it as Brockmire. if I just talked to you as Brockmire in that ridiculous baseball voice, no one could have aggregated it because it just would have been obviously cartoonish. That was exceptional, obviously. Somebody should hire that person.
For real. And the idea, like, I thought it was going to be like, well, maybe he's a substitute teacher. Maybe he does some of the school
Lakerland.
games. But it's like.
Neither of those things.
No one
Dela
talks
Cruz
like-
back to the.
No one talks like that. There's no
Neither
one who
of those
speaks that way.
things.
Amazing.
So this is a WIP just auction winner. Somebody got the chance.
Somebody paid to be on the broadcast, and this guy was like, all right, this is my one shot. I got to pay whatever it's going to take for me to get on this broadcast. I know I'm going to kill it. And then he did exactly that.
And if I'm like the play-by-play guy for Phillies radio, I'm pulling that plug immediately. Like, as soon as he sounds like this and is actually describing the action that way, I'm going like, no, absolutely not. Who do I need to talk to get this guy out of here? Because I'm going to lose my job.
Neither of those things.
Get the guest bookers on it to see if they can find this person so that we can talk to this person. But what I'm expecting generally when we get auction winners, or for example in this Pistons tryout camp, when you pay $250 for the ability to just try out with an NBA team, I mean, what are you shaking your head about before I've even delivered to the audience what this is?
Deliver to the audience, but just know the audience now knows Amin has an objection to how we're setting this all up.
Okay, well, no, you set it up. You're already objecting, so you set up the idea that there are people who can pay $250. If Tony had known about this, he would have been flying to Detroit to try out for the Pistons. But when people do stuff like this, I don't expect them to be exceptional like the WIP auction winner. I expect them to look more like the fat guy who rolls in and is like, yeah, I want to be a Piston for a day. Watch my crossover here. I'm just going to foul people, and I'm going to run out here with my shorts.
This is a
down to
real
my
NBA
knees.
tryout?
Well, no, it's people who paid $250 to be
Easy
on
money
an
for them.
NBA court.
Okay, so first and foremost, this is not for the Pistons. It's for the Pistons G League affiliate. This guy looks ridiculous.
He's fat, and his number is 182.
Big shorts on, too. Huge shorts.
Nice steal there.
So this is for the Pistons G League affiliate, which is a small operation and one of their big revenue-generating things. And that's not just them. It's every G League franchise. This has happened for over a decade, maybe even 20 years. They do this thing where you can pay money and you show up and you go through a tryout. And in the history of this program, like I said, every G League team does this. There's been one player who actually made it from paying $150 to being an NBA player and actually signing not just a minimum contract, but then going on to sign another deal. You remember Jonathan Simmons?
Yeah.
Played for the Spurs and then the Orlando Magic? That guy paid $150 to try out for the Austin Spurs. Yeah. So while you guys laugh and giggle, this is a real thing. This is a real thing. Having said that, I really like the vision of him trying to hit it ahead. It's just like the pass is a little lazy, but like I saw what he was trying to do there.
You saw the vision. It's an easy way for teams to steal money from hardworking folks is what they're doing. You got to give me at least a chance. Hey, well, we're going to take one guy out of here. Make sure.
I go the other way. You know, Akron now is letting people design plays or full football drives and all of this. I like the spirit of this, but we're not going far enough. Teams that are out of it in Major League Baseball should allow someone in the stands to play right field for a half inning. Why wouldn't that be great, Dan? I know that it then renders the sport a little unserious, but that would be the stands would be full if you promoted that. You might get to play one half inning.
The ultimate combo. I'm going to turn this $250 into $20 million.
That's what Jonathan Simmons did.
I just remembered that the reason he came up was because Kawhi got hurt. And he played in place of Kawhi for the Spurs. And everyone was like, they don't need Kawhi.
They got Jonathan Simmons.
Damashek has a good idea here. You guys were obsessed with the Jonathan Simmons story and weren't actually entertaining the idea. Teams that are out of it, and he did answer his own question when he said, well, it would render the sport unserious. Like that was the answer to the question. But if you are the Kansas City Royals, and you're just running around out there in a uniform because the other major league teams have to play against somebody. If we made the right fielder just a fan who won an auction, that would the stands wouldn't be full, But it would make baseball more fun than it presently is if you just had a random fan in the outfield and they look like number 182 out there with his shorts down around his knees and his underwear hanging out and flab in all the wrong places.
Disagree that the stands wouldn't be full. Eddie Goodell, Bill Veeck, the owner who was a wild card, he put a little guy in the batter's box, and he walked on 4 pitch balls. Eddie Goodell.
Guys, go ahead and get me, please, some black and white footage here of Eddie Goodell, because I saw that Tony didn't have any idea who it is that Damashek was talking about.
It's not Roger's brother.
But for those of you who do not know,
he works hard.
Bill Veeck was a cartoonishly carnival type of owner who did all sorts of strange things, and then his son Mike Veeck ended up popularizing minor league baseball before the Savannah Bananas or anything else, with all sorts of weird promotions like this one. But it is true that what Damashek is saying actually happened in a major league game, which is the Oakland A's were unserious as an organization, and they decided to put a little person in the batter's box and see if you can throw a pitch in his strike zone. And he was indeed walked. Now, you've got a base running issue. Many more steps have to be taken to gather around the bases, but he can get to first base, and then you can take him out with a pinch runner if the pitcher simply can't throw it within the strike zone. It seemed like a good idea to me. It worked. Can you look up for me whether Eddie Goodell had a lifetime on-base percentage of 1,000? Because did he just walk the one time? It was his one place appearance?
I think it was a one-off, and I think it was a wiffle ball bat. It literally was not a wooden bat he went to the plate with.
Pull that up again. Put that picture up again, please. Oh, I can't see the bat in this angle.
He didn't even need one, honestly. He could have gone up there without one. That is a perfect sports photograph, incidentally. You cannot do better than that sports photograph in black and white where Eddie Goodell looks like a child. He does not look like an adult human being, and the pitch is clearly high. That is a pitch that's over his head, even though it's a strike to a normal human being.
It's chin music.
1 plate appearance, 1 walk. 1951, 26 years old.
When it is that Amin says chin music, it allows us to play the play-by-play of Stugotz. I want to give the audience a little bit of context here. Stugotz went into a Marlins booth during an actual game with supreme swagger and confidence, thinking that he would sound like the WIP auction person and be great at play-by-play. David Sampson didn't trust him, didn't trust the bravado, went running down to the booth to do it with him because we couldn't desecrate a major league park with this play-by-play. This played in the Cardinals clubhouse. Tony La Russa got pissed off because it sounded ridiculous. Here's Stugotz doing play-by-play in color.
Carpenter deals some chin music to Gabby Sanchez.
Chin music normally isn't swung at, and he
David,
swung at that, Stu.
I got news for you. I was getting chin music in no matter what today.
This is radio, Stu.
I was getting
Please
my
pay
chin music
attention.
in.
So just for the record, chin music is under your chin. That was clearly a foul ball. Like, you heard the bat, you hit it. It's not, I don't think it's possible to even foul off chin music. Like, how why is it called chin music, incidentally? I know it's under your chin, but why is it music? What sense does that make?
I think Jay Leno could probably hit chin music.
Oh,
right?
see, now that's not fair, man. Why would you do that?
Did we ever get to the bottom of what happened to him?
They beat the shit out of him, didn't they?
That was the theory, but we didn't ever know. You can remember the story? It was in his neck of the woods.
He said he fell down a hill in Pittsburgh,
Oh.
and Jay Leno looked like he looked like he'd been mugged. He was wearing his arm was in a sling, and he was purple. His face was even bigger than it normally is, which seems like by surface area almost impossible. But I don't think I think he got away. If it was indeed a lie, he got away with it. People wandered off and did not think that Jay Leno had done anything nefarious there. He simply was walking to a stand-up routine that he was doing and fell down a hill.
Intimidating baseball manager combined with got knocked out, combines for me with my interview with Joe Torre that I once had. I almost knocked myself out cold in the Dodgers dugout. He was in his first season, about to begin it, and I had a sit down with him. And he wasn't seated on the bench; he was seated on the back of the bench, up high in the dugout. So, in my attempt to join him, I went in there and I jumped up onto the bench with my foot, and I bonked my head real hard on the cement roof, and I almost knocked myself out. And I thought, wouldn't that be funny if I woke up in Joe Torre's lap and him trying to revive me? But then I said, hey, Joe, of all of Hollywood, when they made your biopic, they went with Paul Sorvino. Slap in the face? And he said, Paul's a dear friend. And the interview went down from there.
Chin music originally was describing razzing or heckling from the fans. It shifted right around World War II, and it was because of the way that batters described the sound of the buzzing going by their ears, and in turn, it was, musical in that respect.
Okay, I'd go chin whistle, but I guess it's semantics because the ball.
Chin whistle's a different thing.
Is it?
That sounds like a different thing. I don't
Chin
know.
whistling. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is chin whistling more accurate than chin music? Also, play Stugats and some more play-by-play.
So this is a pretty big at-bat, Stu.
Does that include the shot he took in the face when he was standing in the on base?
Stu, you
by
got to
the way,
stop talking when there's a hit.
Logan Morrison with a big base hit up the right side, and Martinez slides it at first and third, no out here in the bottom of the third inning.
Okay.
You sound like an embarrassing person. You sound old as shit. Kenny Lofton played for Lute Olson's Arizona Wildcats. He was really good. Number 26, Patrick Mahomes. The bloodline. He is the most talented quarterback we've ever seen, and if he wanted to play pro baseball, it's in his genes. I bet you he could. Number 25, I'm an ally, Ronda Rousey. She also did some MMA. Number 24, Mickey McCarty. Was drafted by 3 professional sports leagues.
Did you just make Mahomes high on this list because his dad was a baseball player?
Yeah, well, I'm sure he could have and been really good at it. Number 23.
So you put that ahead of Kyler Murray, who actually got a great deal of money for playing baseball. You don't even know if Mahomes played baseball.
Number 23, Anthony Kaladiu.
Oh, stop.
I mean, I'm selling you short, pal. As you know, tried out for the Miami Heat. Tried out for how good do you have to be considered to play college quarterback without being able to throw a football? You had to throw an imaginary one.
Stop. So bothered by Jimmy Graham being ahead of Tony Gonzalez.
Come on, Dan.
When I say it like that, what I mean is if I'm Scott McCullough, my emphasis
What
is...
about Clayton?
What about Clayton?
Or Clayton, I'm sorry.
Who is Scott McCullough?
You know, I have a friend named Scott McCullough.
My mom's
I'm sorry.
coworker's husband.
I have a okay. I'm sorry.
No way.
Apologies. Okay.
Can we call him and ask what he would have done in that spot?
Please. Do you have his number, Chris?
That's funny.
Try it again.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry to both McCulloughs. But if I'm the manager, my emphasis is this kid deserves a once-in-a-career shot at a perfect game. My emphasis is not, you know what, we have a 4% better chance to win if we go to the
what
bullpen.
are the things, now that you're making the list, what are the things more important than winning? Because I do agree with him. I do think there are rare instances where you can prioritize the individual over the team, and this would be one of them because it's not even a no-hitter. Like, that time is past in baseball. There are a lot of bullpen no-hitters, and in fact, I don't even think that they get very much fanfare anymore because of how it is you've cheapened the no-hitter when it's 6 bullpen guys walking 6. But a perfect game, 27 batters faced, your team doesn't make any errors, you don't walk anybody, nobody reaches base. There have only been 24 of those ever, and he was 6 outs away. Do you guys hear a lot of arguments on the other side of this? Is this about as close as you will come to consensus in sports, where most sports fans are like, oh, come on, they used to throw 130 pitches. You got to let him finish that game. I'm tired of all of these maximizations of efficiency that steal the sport's soul by doing silly sort of math instead of like giving a young pitcher a chance at immortality.
I mean, almost every Marlin fan reaction that I saw wanted Yuri Perez to at least have a shot at getting 6 more outs. It's why it was so weird. Like, the Marlins television guy, Kyle Sealaff, called Marlins fans brain dead.
Yeah, he
who
did.
felt that way.
He did.
What?
Yeah,
brain dead.
Yeah, he apologized for it. He walked it back, but yes, he was castigating the audience in a way that was dismissive, and he then apologized.
They have a
for
dead
it.
brain, Greg.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
What?
There you go. There's a rumor that may make the catchphrase countdown. Right, and the committee has met on this, and the reason it qualifies for the catchphrase countdown is that although that just sounds like gibberish, what it is a repeat of the word what.
Tony, you got to work on yours because it does have that.
Well, he's the
parrot.
master, though.
I know, but
Mine's lacking the parrot.
Well, you can try to upgrade your game.
What?
Yes, it's a series of 8 was, WHU, followed by a what? Yes.
I'd like you guys to challenge each other here.
Okay, go ahead, Tony.
What? Oh, I see where it is. It's his cheeks are looser. That's what it is.
That's it.
What?
No, you got to start off a little higher.
You know, it's a Cody thing. The Codys can do it.
Can you do it? Can you do it? Let me see. That's more
That's
chicken. That's chicken than
chicken.
parrot.
Do it again. Let me hear you.
That was a bub sound.
I was trying to show off. Go ahead.
Yeah,
do
you
it.
got to go. Better. That's my boy.
By the way, I've gotten Scott McCullough's number. I'm going to text him.
All right. Well, no, just call him. Let's call
him.
Let's
I haven't talked to this guy in 15 years.
Just say it's Chris Cody.
Oh, just okay. Yeah, this is.
I want to hear. I want him to pick up the phone and go, Scott.
My dad
how you doing?
confused you with the Marlins manager.
Chris Cody.
Do it on speaker right
let's
here.
let's do the whole thing.
Hey, it's Chris Cody.
And we'll let him know he's on air.
Yes,
We're old friends.
Yes.
All right, here we
Just,
go.
hey, this is Chris Cody. Call me back.
These are the dangers of doing some of these things live.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Oh,
Give him the reason. Give him a long
Chris
reason.
Cody calling about the Miami Marlins.
Scott's going to hear that and go, what?
Please stay on the line. So we'll see if we get through.
I would have liked the more
Holding music.
He's going to be like, Chris Cody and the Marlins. How's Beth?
I'm going to have a little trouble here explaining to the audience what the last 3 minutes of my life has been like, but I'm going to say there are people all over the world in asylums who have not experienced what my last 3 minutes were, which is Jeremy comes in here and says to me, and it's all he says to me, if someone goes 0 for 1 for the rest of their career in every single game but walks 3 times a game, is that the best baseball player ever? And then he just leaves the room. Tony comes in after him and says to me, hey, my father has 5 other names that he calls people whose names he can't remember that is different from my list yesterday. He's objecting to my list. And then Damashek says to me, whatever happened to the flavor wintergreen? And I just want to talk about Eddie Goodell, and I just want to say, if we were to make a Hall of Fame, an athletic Hall of Fame for little people, is Eddie Goodell the only person in it?
No, the crossover little person.
Messi?
That guy should be in it.
Messi. It's Eddie Goodell and Lionel Messi.
Muggsy Bogues.
Spud Webb.
Spud Webb.
Muggsy, these are not little people though.
Not little people.
They're short, but they're not little people. If I made an athletic Hall of Fame of little people, just little people, is Eddie Goodell the only member of the Little People Athletic Hall of Fame, on-base percentage of 1,000 for his career.
The guy who did the crossover in the Little People games.
Yeah.
Does Dave know about the Little People games or no?
No, but I'm expecting to depart to Cloud 9 as soon as I start.
Okay, well, we'll show it to you in a second. Send out the missive to Brad Williams to make sure that we get his video, the most amazing crossover, I believe, in the history of crossovers, even though it wasn't technically a crossover. We will show that video to Damashek in a second. But go ahead, Damashek. What do you got on the flavor winter?
Well, I was curious for your insights on this, Dan, since you were talking about flavors earlier in the show. We had peppermint gum, and by the way, isn't it nice in our fraught society when you see examples of different companies coming together on something? Everybody agreed at some point, when we do peppermint flavor, it's going to be blue, and spearmint will be green, and we all are going to make it green. And then cinnamon, everybody, we're signing off on red. But then wintergreen made the scene, and it was more like a light blue. And either way, it was a fine flavor. It wasn't as strong as peppermint, and it had its own, some quality to it, I guess. But I guess it's gone the way of the dodo bird, and spearmint has won in the secondary mint flavored market. Why are you shaking your head at that?
Because
Tony?
wintergreen is alive and well in
Where?
the nicotine
Where?
patch. Nicotine pouches, wintergreen. Someone say best flavor.
Ben Gay also smells like wintergreen. Maybe that's why no one wants to ingest it anymore, because now you associate it with healing.
I'm looking at Extra right now. Has a winter fresh flavor, and winter fresh is always blue. By the way, winter fresh is blue.
That's not synonymous with wintergreen, is it?
It's different.
Is it? How's it different? Is it just the color?
Wintergreen and winter fresh.
Yeah. The name is different. Is it just the name and the color?
Yeah.
Now, I've said
I
it
don't feel like
before.
I'm getting real expertise in that. Yeah, I feel like you just said.
Well, yeah, it's like they're both minty. They're both winter, but they're fresh and green.
What's interesting, Dan, is that the fruit world, when they're making candies, there are a lot of red fruits. And so somebody had to take the short straw. They're like, we got the cherry flavor, we got the strawberry, we got the watermelon, we got the red. Somebody has to not be red, because we can't have just a bunch of red candies that are indistinguishable from each other. And so they said, let's invent something that doesn't exist, a blue raspberry. And now everybody has, when you have raspberry flavor, it's standardly blue. How many people have had a blue raspberry in their life? Think about that, Dan.
Winterfresh is a wintergreen flavored variety of chewing gum made by the Wrigley Jr. Company. It was originally marketed as an alternative to the Big Red brand.
Could have been blue cherry.
Well, he just brought up something that I found interesting, because I do believe that if you offer me two things and you say the flavors on gum or candy are, and I can only have one of them, just regular raspberry or blue raspberry, I think I'm going to go blue raspberry. And I don't know how Big Raspberry figured out how to trick me like that, because I feel like most people are going to say, yeah, if I want it to be blue raspberry, I think that's going to be even sweeter and a different kind of raspberry. I'm tired of red raspberry.
Do you think Blueberry is sitting somewhere like, whoa, blue? That's my lane. What are you doing coming over here?
Thank you for bringing up the lane. I can now segue to how it is that Vern Troyer got crossed over in the paint here. I want you to watch here at the end of this.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Him and Eddie Goodell.
Watch his feet go up in the air here.
Yo!
What a jumper that is. Oh, wow. Look at that form. That's terrific. Good for him.
His oh no before we got to the crossover was even more scared than Greg Cody's oh no after he accidentally called the Cleveland Guardians by their former name.
The wipe out after the guy who gets crossed.
Whoa, boy.
It's the hardest I've ever seen him laugh.
Oh, man, that's terrific.
Whoa, boy.
Send me that so I can send it to all my friends.
Whoa, boy.
Oh, that's terrific stuff.
Whoa, boy.
Good for 47.
For those of you who are not watching on YouTube, I just want to point out that what Damashek is laughing at is, on defense, a little person who is bald is, I'm going to say, what do you mean it's not important that he's bald?
You gotta say bald for.
Because everyone else out there has hair, and the comedic element here that makes it funny has multiple ingredients, and his baldness is what makes him look like Vern Troyer. And also the fact that he lands like a javelin. I'm going to say a full 15 feet from where the basketball is being shot as the defender.
That guy versus the bear getting shot out of the tree. That's a tough one to call. Both delightful.
Oh, boy.
Also delightful, before we get to Tony's dad's 5 other ways of referring to somebody whose name he can't remember and entertaining the Jeremy conversation of whether you'd want a baseball career that never allows you to have a hit. But you play for 20 years. 0 for 1 every game with 3 walks. 750.
You're Hall of Famer.
750 OPS doesn't quite make you a Hall of Famer.
750 OBP does.
750.
400's a good on-base percentage in baseball. 750 would be
Getting on 3 times a game for a decade. We're doing it against Tony.
Let's be fair. Mine is the superior career.
Absolutely not.
Without a doubt. Okay, I don't know if you've heard this, Dave. What if an MLB player goes 1 for 4 with a single in every game he ever plays, 10 years worth of games? Never has a home run, never has a walk, never has a double, nothing. 1 for 4. Does he make it to the Hall of Fame?
Well, so he has a consecutive game streak of 1,700 or thereabouts?
But he's a 250 career hitter, and he's got no slugging. His OPS
500 on base, like 500 OBP.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Does he swipe a few bags
No.
along the way?
No.
Doesn't
1 for
steal
4.
any bases.
He does. All he does is hit that one hit every game, and sometimes it might be the first hit.
You never know when it's coming.
Sometimes it might be a walk-off single.
You know what? He can go to the Hall of Fame, but he ain't welcome in the Hall of All.
The opposite of the Hall,
Now
hall
who's
of All.
standing atop Mount Pius?
But the better career is definitely the guy who never gets a hit but walks 3 times.
Give me Tony's career.
100%.
I want to get a hit.
This guy's on base 3 times a game for a decade.
Number 47's going into the Hall of All.
I want to know if that shot goes in.
We all want to know
When I'm
that.
president, that is what's being played on the White House lawn. Is that rematch. 1-on-1.
Little people basketball?
1-on-1.
You're an ally.
LaMelo Ball's penthouse in Charlotte.
Yes.
When you guys just imagine what it is that I'm saying on the front end of that phrase, okay? I'm telling you, this guy's got to be more of a child than anyone in the NBA, and it is saying something to say that. LaMelo Ball, when I ask you to imagine, before showing it to some people, what his penthouse looks like in Charlotte, I've got a giant gumball machine. I've got obviously a ridiculous aquarium. It's a little bit of an arcade, and it's a little bit of a vape shop. It's also a little bit of a Chuck E. Cheese's.
He's got a car in like the living room for no reason.
Yeah, a car that he can't drive well, that he can't get insured. But when you imagine, when you got a look, at LaMelo Ball's home, did it look exactly as you imagined? Because I'd also have some funhouse elements in there in what I imagine a child would do as a grown-up if I gave him unlimited funds.
Bang. I just thought about Big. Tom Hanks gets a job, and he moves to that loft apartment. And when I watched Big as a kid, I was like, what a cool place. He's got the arcade. He's got all sorts
Pop
of
a shot.
Is Chuck E. Cheese still a thing? Do people know what I'm referencing
Yes.
when I
Sure.
mention the idea that
You
you've
sound
got
old, but people know.
It's alive.
but characters playing instruments that are
Banjo.
Creepy looking.
that are robot-like. So what else? What in this house caught your attention? What in this penthouse were some of the signature items? Were there a lot of hookahs? What was happening here?
It has to be like the neon aliens, because this is the part where it does look like a vape shop. Yes. Like that alien statue. There you go. Right there.
That's the kitchen counter that's like tie-dyed in glow-in-the-dark.
This is a dispensary.
Also a dispensary. Good point by Chris.
But the colors are what's key here. It's a kaleidoscope of colors that you would expect from a children's show. Like, just how do I bombard the senses of a child by just making everything neon?
Pee-wee's Playhouse. A modern version.
What did you think was the strangest thing found in his house? How many Papa Shots were there in the penthouse?
I believe there were 2, so you could go head
Two
to head.
aliens also. There's 2 alien statues there at the house.
It's multiple aliens too as they pan through.
He
here.
likes aliens. There's some UFO stuff. He likes aliens apparently.
A basketball hoop with a neon green net.
How about that? How about that elephant showing its ass?
No, that was a cause. Kaws.
What?
Cause. That's what it's called.
Is it an elephant? Am I tripping?
No, it's like a mouse.
What is a cause, please?
Cause it's a artistic rendering of a cartoon that's very like snob society, the sneakerhead culture and stuff like that. It's that kind of art.
But not an elephant, because it's a
Not
very
an
big.
elephant,
It's
no.
a big difference between an elephant and a mouse, and you guys are disagreeing. And I don't think the audio audience, you're helping them at all when you say no, it's an elephant, no, it's a mouse. Now you've allowed so much of a space between the two things that I don't believe you're helping anybody who's listening.
It's a cartoon character that is dressed with a T-shirt, but the shorts are down around its ankles, and it's got sneakers on, and it's kind of looking back cheekily, pun
Mooning
intended.
us.
It's mooning.
That's right. But just to be clear, okay, on how it is that some of you guys alienate the audio audience, okay? If I were to say to you, choose among everything that you've ever seen in your life as things that are the most opposite, I'd nominate elephant and mouse. And you guys described that thing as both of those things. And I'm just curious how you think that helps the audio audience understand what it is that
I know it's
we're
gray.
watching. Yeah,
I'm picturing gray.
Yeah. Those are two very different things. I mean, was there anything you were surprised by in that house? Or because that apartment looks like I would imagine it if I was trying to make fun of LaMelo Ball not being grown up in any reasonable way. And furthermore, if I were in a court of law and you asked me, hey, why aren't the Timberwolves gonna work? I'd submit as evidence that
Exhibit A, Your
just
Honor.
Here, Exhibit A, and I rest my case. And here,
Exhibit B.
I don't need to see anything else. Here's why the whole thing's not going to work with Anthony Edwards.
It's just like it just goes to show you the idea of, man, I wonder how that guy lives. And it's like, well, that's how he lives. And you're like, oh, that kind of makes sense, right?
I believe there's an ESPY award that they pan by at one
That's
point.
the most ridiculous
Tucked
thing that's
into
there.
like, yeah.
I think Zach Harper told me that he went to an estate sale for Michael Beasley's house when he left Minnesota. And the one thing that Zach bought was a framed kind of picture that said Harvard on it. And it's like, but Michael Beasley didn't go to Harvard. Like, yeah, I don't know why he had that either.
By the way, Dan, really quick on the Cause front. Cause is a companion, does look like the cartoon mouse because it's directly styled after Mickey Mouse, featuring gloved hands, round ears, and a body with XXI skull and crossbones head.
But when you mention the movie Big, I mean, it is very much, just make it a penthouse, make it a little bit sort of how a young bachelor might try to have a framework of a penthouse that gave off riches, but now imagine an adult just living in a toy store.
Yeah, it was, yes, this is what a bachelor would have now. Make the bachelor and actually a 12-year-old child, right? And that's exactly what LaMelo Ball is, right? Like, all right, let's a rich penthouse of a star basketball player. Okay, now make him a child mentally.
Weird that Tom Hanks and his pal, they don't go out and pick up some booze. You know, the 12-year-olds don't have that. But the problematic role of Elizabeth Perkins, I believe is her name, she makes her love on that boy.
Talk to me.
Sure does. But she didn't know. She didn't know. Now, have you ever seen The Lawnmower Man? Dave Damashek. Have you ever seen the movie The Lawnmower Man?
I haven't.
It's got Pierce Brosnan in it, right? And in it, Pierce Brosnan is a scientist. He tries to create this thing that can help advance the minds of people, particularly the lawnmower man, the groundskeeper that lives in his neighborhood, who is developmentally challenged. And so he does the stuff, and the guy gets smarter, and now he's regular intelligence, and now he's actually smarter than everybody. And it keeps going and going, right? But there's a lady who lives in the neighborhood who knows him. He's the lawnmower man. Everyone knows him, right? And as he's getting more and more intelligent, he's a little bit more well-kept, right? Dresses a little nicer. His haircut is a little nicer. She ends up doing the do with him. And all I can think of is she doesn't know about this experiment. She knows the lawnmower man is, is challenged. And then one day she's like, but you're kind of hot, and has sex with him. And I'm like, lady, you weren't privy to this information. That is a moral conundrum.
Inappropriate, Dan.
You say it's inappropriate, and I've heard people say that the movie Big is inappropriate because it's an adult woman making love to what would be Tom Hanks as a young boy. But I think if I were making the argument on behalf of the problems that women generally have with men, it's that all of them are sleeping with adolescents.
Oh, you.
And one of the evidences that I have is it true that Elon Musk shot a 4-story thing at the moon just because he could?
Say what now?
When you say that, what do you mean by that?
That's correct.
Look it up for me.
Like a rocket?
Look up for me. Just he shot at the moon a 4-story thing just because he is an overgrown toddler who could do such things. If I gave LaMelo Ball rocket money, he would be doing the same sort of things that Elon Musk does, because I would say that generally speaking, you've heard me say this before, men think that they're 20 years younger than they are, and they act 30 years younger than that. Like, just men tend to be pretty immature, and I'm pretty sure I have that right, that Elon Musk, just for the bleep of it, just shot a 4-story thing at the moon because he has no respect for anything.
I need some details on this
Yeah,
story.
so what happened is a discarded SpaceX rocket stage, so I guess the thing that holds the rocket, unintentionally slammed into the moon about 4,500 miles an hour.
No, I don't think that's the one. I think
There's another one?
This is a willful thing they're doing. Dan, I'm curious. We talked about this a couple months ago on a Friday Le Batard show. Have you ever personally used the phrase "make love" in a sincere way?
No.
That's a funny thing that happened in movies and TV, and then society kind of accepted it for a little while. Like, there's no movie character that ever says, "Oh, we had sex." It's always, "We made love."
You know
but
why,
no one
right?
Talks that way.
You know why?
Tell.
Because of the Hays Code.
Oh, yeah.
I could do a deep cinema history lesson here, but basically, when movies first started coming out, there were no rules. You could do whatever. There's like black and white movies, silent movies with women's breasts out and stuff like that. And then Scarface came out, and the government was pissed because they thought it made the original Scarface, not Tony Montana, right? Oh. They thought that it made the government look inept and corrupt and things like that. And so they were going to hammer down. And so then the movie industry created the Hays Code. Say, hey, we don't want government regulation. We'll regulate ourselves. They came up with the Hays Code, and the Hays Code had all of these rules, like you can't have open mouth kissing. You can't depict people in the same bed together. The cops always have to be righteous and virtuous. There's a reason why in American storytelling, the good guys always win at the end. It's not because we like a great ending story. It's because of the Hays Code. It made it so for about 30 plus years until we got to the 60s, and then Steven Spielberg and all those Scorsese, all those directors that came up, those filmmakers, we get the golden age of like kind of avant-garde filmmaking. But that's why they say make love, because they could not say let's fuck.
Although nobody observed the actual 5,400-mile-an-hour collision, a telescope in Chile spotted what astronomers have identified as debris. And it's the latest instance of lunar litter, a problem that many fear could worsen as the U.S. and China race to put astronauts on the moon. Wait a second.
I've never used make love, but I did a few weeks ago try the thing where you sweep off everything from a table and start that way. And
What?
It went well. Yeah. It was a little messy afterwards.
Really?
Had to pick up everything afterwards, but I took it for a walk and it was nice.
One sweep? Or
it makes it feel fresh. It's like, it feels dangerous a little bit.
I'm stunned by this.
Swiped everything off. I was like, "Come here, honey," and I just swiped everything off the table. And we went in the bedroom, but I still was just like,
Wait a minute.
before this.
Wait a minute. That's not.
It's just like a little foreplay. Instead of foreplay, I was just like, our whole kitchen table, everything gone.
But it's not. Wait a minute. I think I didn't imagine you doing this. I didn't want to imagine you doing this. I'm now imagining you eating a clam pizza while doing it. But that's not the way to do it.
I love the idea of Chris's wife is already in the bedroom waiting on him, and he's like, "Hold on, honey, I got one thing to do." Rah! All right.
All right, let's get to the bedroom now.
Telling you, it's just one of those things. It's if you're in a little bit of a rut, it makes it feel fresh. I'm telling you. Not that we were in a rut, but just want to try it.
The thing that I wanted to bring up, and I have not brought up here for a couple of days, because we've been talking about the Odyssey so much, and because Zaz has been obsessed with this movie, cannot watch it enough. I believe I'm going to spring upon you guys a fact that no one here knows, and that all of you are going to be surprised by, dare I say, stunned by. Matt Damon's stunt double in that movie. What do you imagine the stunt person looks like? If you had to just take a guess, given whatever it is you've seen of Matt Damon getting incredibly fit for that movie, being someone who in his 50s is looking like a warrior who can kick everybody's ass. What are your guesses from all of you? Just, I say, you're about to meet the stunt person who was Matt Damon's stunt double in the movie The Odyssey is walking through that door. What do you think that person looks like?
An elephant or a mouse?
A guy that looks like Matt Damon, but a little off. Like,
yeah, kind of ugly.
Like discount Matt Damon. Like, oh no, that's not him.
Yeah. Big fat black guy.
Close. Small woman.
What?
Yeah. Small woman.
Of course.
A tiny.
That has to be.
No, it's not fake.
Come on. That's fake.
No, it's not
Dan,
fake.
that's AI. That's AI. I'm sorry to tell you that.
No, it's not fake.
May contain errors.
No, guys. It's verified. Christopher Nolan doesn't use CGI, famously, is against it. It is real. It's a Canadian woman, and she's about 4'7". She's about Eddie Goodell's height. She's tiny.
Hall of Famer.
The reason, though, that she's tiny is because he had to put her opposite people who were actually 7 feet tall. Like, they got a whole bunch of 7-footers, and they wanted the scene of, from the back, Matt Damon. She's jacked. Her arms are jacked, but she's like 4'6" or 4'5". He went on purpose with someone who was Christopher Nolan went with someone who was tiny. Have you seen The Odyssey? Did you watch it?
I can't wait to see it. No, my travels have not allowed me to see it just yet.
You guys think this is fake? It's not fake.
That can't be it.
I'm telling you that it's. I know that.
I believe you.
We chose something very poor from the internet that makes it look like it's fake. But
can't be it, Dan. I'm sorry.
But the stories that I have read about this, it's absolutely so. It is not fake.
It looks like a porn parody. Is what it looks like. The art I see.
A parody.
Oh, boy.
It is a bit stunning to say that. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Did you know that Matt Damon's stunt double in The Odyssey was a 4'6" Canadian woman? Because I do believe so. I was successful in surprising and shocking all of you. None of you knew it, and all of you are shocked by it. Tony, you're welcome to look it up if you don't believe.
That picture doesn't do it justice, though, Dan. You agree with me, right?
You keep not believing me, but if I show, you'd understand. If he doesn't use CGI, if Christopher Nolan doesn't use CGI, how else are you going to get Matt Damon to look that much smaller than giant people? You got to go get 7-foot people to be opposite him, and you got to make him smaller than he actually is in order to successfully achieve that.
Who does she look like, though, Dan, to you when she is dressed like Matt Damon? Because she doesn't look like Matt Damon. She looks kind of like Jim Belushi's brother-in-law from According to Jim, dressed up like an ancient warrior.
She doesn't look anything like Matt Damon as the stunt double either. I'm having some difficulty describing what it is that she does look like. Originally, when I saw her, I thought she was Asian. She is Canadian, and she doesn't look obviously anything like Matt Damon. When you put her in costume or when she's not in costume, there is no circumstance under which she looks like Matt Damon.
We are presenting this like she's the only stunt double for him. It was just for this particular scene where they needed the size, but the picture we're painting is she's doing every stunt.
Was she
for Matt
or
Damon.
was she not his stunt double? Do not
in
sit
a
here.
scene.
Was she
in a scene where they wanted her to look?
Was she or was she not his stunt double?
I just looked up the cast of According to Jim, and I realized who you're talking about. It's Hoghead from Hall Pass.
That's right.
She does look like him with the helmet on.
Why the Brillo or the the brush thing, the broom thing on top of the Ancient Warriors helmets?
That's how they kept their uniforms clean. Like you got some downtime, take off your helmet and scrub up and everything, put it back on, boom.
True
Functional.
or false, Dan?
It's a great guess, and you seem to be stunned that he had such an immediate answer. Cinephobe is where you go if you want some real movie knowledge. What is Cinephobe? Clearly, Damashek doesn't understand what Cinephobe is.
Now, Cinephobe is the podcast where Zach Harper and I watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes. We try to ascertain whether they're accurately rated or maybe they didn't get a fair shake. Cinephobe is produced by Anthony Mays. You get it wherever you get podcasts. And today, we dropped an episode for Blood Fist 8.
Holy hell.
You ever seen Blood Fist 8?
I haven't. Dan, have you seen Hall of Fame inductions? It's the Hall of Fame weekend in Canton, Ohio. What a gift that is, right? You had a storied career in our most beloved sport. You get to go to Canton every August. What, Dan, were you named to the Hall of Fame? First question I have for you is, who would be your presenter?
You didn't entertain Amin's question at all. You went straight to your material, and he was asking
My
you.
material? What material? I'm asking you questions. I'm a person talking to another person, you and me.
But why weren't you talking to the person who was talking to you and asked
He was
him-
promoting his movie podcast. What question did he ask?
He asked you if you had seen
Blood Fist 8.
Blood
I said no.
Fist 8.
I
And
answered that.
Yeah, well, you said I did. You answered it by dismissing it.
I dismissed it because that's what it deserves. Blood Fist 8. Now you want to talk Tong Po? Now I'm in. But we're talking Blood Fist 8. Come on.
How about American Ninja 4?
Put it on the poll, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Did you know that there were 8 blood fists? Yes or no? So you're asking me who would be my presenter if I were inducted to what kind of Hall of Fame? What kind of Hall of Fame am I being inducted to?
I'd like to. People are most familiar, I think, among the Halls of Fame with the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
the
You'd
Eating
be
Hall
up
of
there
Fame.
with your gold jacket, standing up there, and who's presenting you?
That turned you on? What happened there?
To the bedroom.
The Eating Hall of Fame? The Eating Hall of Fame.
I would present
all right, you know what I mean? You'd go up there with a big hoagie and just some sauce on your face.
I've seen him put French fries in a salad.
He stole my chicken wing.
The Eating Hall of Fame. You're putting me in an actual sports Hall of Fame. You're not actually even making it any of my skill set. So now you
Sure,
have.
I am. They have a media wing.
But so if I were to, I'd probably do Ricky Williams if it was the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If that's what you're asking, if you're
The
asking.
world's your oyster. You're the Hall of Famer. You make the choice.
But you
doesn't have to be Ricky Williams.
You don't. Aren't most of the presenters at the Hall of Fame, if it's for football, aren't they also football people? Like, isn't that?
No, it's anybody from your life that you want. Anybody who impacted
A lot of
you.
times, though, it is
Could
a
be
coach.
Dave Damashek,
Like,
which would be a nice choice. I'd say nice things.
I saw Breeze is having Sean Payton put him in, so it's like, yeah, it's like a coach or
could be a coach, could be could be your dad. I don't
A
know.
mentor
Could
of
be
some
anybody.
sort.
your dad doing it would be funny.
Warren Sapp had his daughter do it.
My father doing it, there would be no control.
He's okay.
Everything that would be, yes, it would have very little pride in it.
Ricky Williams, not that somebody from the U at least.
Well, it would be somebody who knows me and also has a great many really knows me, right? Wouldn't you want a presenter who really knows you as opposed to just throwing somebody out there who you have an allegiance to or a link to, but might not necessarily know exactly who it is that you are?
Do you think you would cry during your speech?
Yeah, obviously I
You
would.
would.
But I want you to imagine me just going up to Edgerrin James. Hey, will you introduce me at the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Do what now?
Get Michael Doliak on the tomorrow.
Did I tell you, man? I don't think you were here the day. Michael Doliak, as part of that Heat celebration, he was staying here at the Elser, and I saw him in the hotel, and I'm like, the guys would get a kick if I came down there with you and just brought you down there, and he's like, what time do you think you'd want me to do that? And I'm like, if you came around 10 a.m., that would be nice. Would you like to do that? And he's like, no.
I love that guy.
Honesty.
He just wanted to be with his cattle in Wyoming. He was wearing a cowboy hat. There's never been a Heat player quite like that. I don't think there's been another Heat player that would be from Wyoming, have cattle, and have his cowboy hat, and not particularly want to be in Miami, would prefer to be in Wyoming.
Wasn't he a doctor? Am I having that wrong?
I don't think
he's a medical student.
That can't be right. I don't believe.
En Cuba fue doctor.
Thank you, Tony. Getting back to that list from your father that started yesterday. So if you were listening to the show yesterday, Tony's father, Tony, it's fair to say without any insult, your father is a bit of a cartoon character, correct?
Yeah.
Affable, fun. Everybody likes Tony's dad, gregarious, and also Tony gave us a list yesterday, a longer list, 7 or 8, was longer than top 5 with the OLI, of things his father calls people whose names he can't remember. And then his father told Tony, no, your list is shitty. Your list was no good. I can give you a better list.
He gave me 5
than that.
more.
He gave you 5 that he thought was better. So are you ready, Damashek? We're going to get some translations here as well to help the El
Should I
Gringo.
give Dave the ones from yesterday just so he has a bank of knowledge of what we're looking at?
And the translations. Give him yesterday's top 5 list, and then give him today's.
Okay,
top
so
5 list.
my dad doesn't know you. He knows you by face, but not by name. Number 5, Coronel, which means colonel.
Let's see if Damashek can guess what some of these things mean. Actually, I'd like to hear Damashek just try and take some guesses.
Out of the gate hot though with Colonel.
It's really strong. Colonel is great for a number of different reasons, but because the military rank isn't a special one. Like it is, but it's not. Like he's not
mid-tier.
He's not calling you private, but he's not calling you general either. He's just going right in the
Coronel.
middle.
Number 4, Barón de Dios.
Badass.
It could be.
Go ahead.
Man of God.
Baron of God.
Baron of God.
Baron of God. Boy, really giving some powers to the stranger you're talking to.
Number 3, Doctor. Doctor.
You translated that one.
I got that one.
Because it's a. Number 2, Monstro.
I think I got that one figured out too.
What's that one?
Monster?
Yeah, atta boy.
Right. I'm hot.
Number 1, Estrella.
Stranger? No, Estrella is a beer, so it must be beautiful, something like that. Tasty.
Star.
Okay.
Tasty.
Estrella Star.
We should have just let him keep going.
Calling Tony's friend tasty.
Buzzworthy.
It's creepy. Right? It's creepy
Dad,
if you go
no,
up
no,
to
no.
you go up to one of Tony's friends and call him Tasty as Tony's dad. That would be aggressive, lecherous.
So he heard that list, laughed, obviously. My dad is very Greg Cody in a way where he loves things about himself. So he sent me, these are 5 other ones that I feel like you missed. So I could have done a top 10 list. Now another 5 here. You ready?
Yep.
Number 5, Campeón.
Friend. Companion.
Nope.
Companion.
No.
Champion.
Oh, champion. Okay.
Campeón.
Sure.
Champion.
I love that. I love calling people champ. That's a great
It's the
one.
whole thing. Imagine if you call somebody champion. You say champ, but you say my champion. Mi campeón. It's usually like a valet guy or like, some. Number 4, Caballo.
Cowboy.
I've been called Caballo a day or two in my life.
Hey.
Caballero is cowboy, right? No, Gringo is just a white guy, right?
Yeah. I don't
Keep
know where
trying. Look,
Talk it out.
We're gonna stay right here with you. Go ahead and see if you can figure out.
Sports car by Pontiac.
Keep trying.
It's a Pontiac Caballo.
Keep
Well,
trying.
Close to Camaro, right?
So if Caballero is
Taxi cab.
doing well.
Caballo, you want to keep guessing?
No, I'm out. I'm done.
It means horse.
It's a horse.
Like a strong horse. My grandfather, who's also Tony, so it's Tony, Tony, and Tony. So my grandfather has the additive of caballo de Attila, which is the horse of Attila, which means you're not just a regular horse. You're the horse of Attila.
I love caballo. Oh, that's great. Calling somebody a horse.
Yeah. So it's like this guy, a caballo. They love that. Number 3, tiburón.
That's a great one. Do you know what that is?
Kind of candy from Europe somewhere.
Yodelay-hee-hoo.
Triangular chocolate bar. A little overrated.
Let him keep guessing. Let him keep guessing. My father uses that one, tiburón. My father uses that one
Really?
a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. He go ahead and see if you can guess.
A utensil of some sort? Eating utensil for somebody going into the Eating Hall of Fame, perhaps?
This thing likes to eat.
Oh, it's a beast of some
It's
sort.
a beast, yeah. A
Give it
beast
to
of
me
the
one
flesh
more
that
time.
you wouldn't eat.
One of the most prehistoric beasts.
Oh.
Tiburón.
A Stegosaurus.
Close.
Close, I guess.
I like that Stegosaurus holding its own with the spiked tail, swinging it, trying to hold off T-Rex. In vain, probably. Tell us what it is.
It's a shark.
A shark.
Tiburón is a shark, yeah.
You can eat shark. Who said you can't eat shark? People eat shark.
Shark fin soup?
I've done it. Yeah.
Number 2, Flaco.
Ravens legend, Super Bowl champ, played in 3/4 of the AFC North. Not a Hall of Famer.
No, you don't think?
That is what his Cuban father is calling people, Joe Flacco. That is correct.
Flaco means thin, skinny. Hey, what's up, thin guy? What's up, skinny guy?
That is not something that the Eating Hall of Fame person hears. He is not going to present you at the Eating Hall of
Flaco? Joe Flacco's not going to do that? Number 1.
No es Flaco, Dan Le Batard. Es aquí.
Number 1, we go back to the military rankings. I don't know where this one would rank. Obviously, we had Coronel as the top, as number 5 from the last list.
Hold on a second, Tony. Did you just breathe satisfied after having
heard
an
it.
effervescent sip of soda because you were comfortable not looking at me and just saying in Spanish, the skinny guy's not here? Is that what you just did?
I want you to understand that I'm like Trump to your Pritzker. It's a Cody
Oh,
over
boy.
there. Cody over there is, he's like the old New Jersey governor. It's a shooting gallery shooting at itself here.
I'm Chris
You,
Christie.
me, yeah.
That's Illinois, Pritzker.
It's my wife's name, actually. I am Chris Christie.
We've lost the thread.
You've lost it, amigo. You're alone. You are alone.
I got an amigo from
You
Dan. Added to the
are
list.
the only one who has lost the thread here.
Colonel.
Number 1, as we go to Coronel, I'd like you to put this in the ranking, Dan. Number 1 is Comandante.
That's the highest praise right there, Comandante. It does not get better than calling someone Comandante, commander.
Why? Hey, it's Chris.
Okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
I'm sorry, this person is not available.
Chris, hold on. Hang up, and now call back and make the explanation more detailed.
Okay.
Say,
What would you have done if you had your pitcher with 6 outs left in a perfect game?
Yes. Give him.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is
Chris
available.
again.
Hey, it's Chris again. I'm calling because my dad referenced Clayton McCullough. He said Scott McCullough. He meant Clayton McCullough. He said Scott McCullough. He's talking about the Marlins. We want to know if you would have done the same thing as Clayton McCullough with this big Marlins controversy on Sunday. Call me back.
Thanks. Please stay on the line.
You're welcome. Love hold music.
Put it on the poll, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Do you love hold music? It's the first time I've heard anybody say that.
He's reading it.
I'm sorry, this person is not available.
He's a busy man.
Tom Brady, I'm guessing, would not like you ordering for him. And I think in general, athletes are going to have some control stuff that makes them predisposed to not want someone else to pick their preferences for them. I think they're more likely to have some control stuff there than the rest of us.
The chef is going to bring you to the table and bring what he feels is the best of his abilities. You're going to be like, no, I don't like shellfish. Sorry. Weenie.
I don't want a chef to order for me. What am I, a child?
Why are you going to his restaurant then?
I've been to pick what I like. Bring me a lobster. Bring me a filet mignon.
I've been to a restaurant with you where someone brings you out a bunch of stuff.
And?
I mean, and that's not my preference. That's not my preference. Not only that, when a restaurant gives me a free meal, it happens a lot. I don't want to brag. Generally, I say to the chef, thank you very much, but I insist on paying. That's what you got to do. That's the play. That's the play.
That is not a thing that happens.
That's the play.
You just lied. No. I never want to pay money. No, that's not something I do. Pay money for things. Very cheap. Never turned down a free meal.
It's an old wives' tale. Me being very cheap.
Who shot John?
I'm the opposite.
I still don't understand when, why, or how who shot John is used.
Call up my wife. She'll explain it to you.
I'm sitting
in the
right
car
next to
on the
you.
way to a restaurant.
It's in the car on the way to a restaurant.
It's like the family can't agree, and my dad will just be like, guys, I don't want to play Who Shot John.
Because it gets to a ridiculous point. It's frustrating for me. And those three words generally silence and cause the conversation to veer in a direction, sharply, in a direction that I prefer.
Who's John?
That's the question I have. Who is John? Why did someone shoot him?
It's a generic name. You know, it's not a specific person.
Why did someone shoot him?
Because he was upsetting them so much. You know, I'm in the car with John. We're going to go to Alice's restaurant. And
with Bernie Parmalee?
And we're headed to the restaurant, and at the last minute, John says, or if you prefer, we'll go to the House of Nuts. And I say, no, we're going to Alice's restaurant. And then he insists, the House of Nuts is great. Haven't you heard? Who shot John? Let's go. Come on. Forget about it. We're going to Alice's restaurant. Arlo Guthrie, 1967.
You like to take your wife to the House of Nuts?
I mean, it's a place we go to.
Yeah? How often?
It depends on the kind of nut I'm interested in. You know, I love
a
Brazil.
sizable one.
I love Brazil nuts.
Yeah.
Good fans.
Good fans.
Really good fans.
Brazilian nut.
Well, it's a good nut as well. Legume. Or is that a bean? I think that's a bean.
It is a bean.
Although nuts and beans are in the same family, I think.
Yeah, they're all what are some of your other favorite ethnic nuts?
Put it in the poll. Put it on the
I
poll.
like all nuts. I love pistachios, but I insist on deshelling them myself.
Hell yeah.
You give me a bag of pistachios that have already been shelled, I'm going to turn it back.
That's right.
Thank you.
Insists on paying.
I don't believe him either.
What a whopper.
Okay, but
just say things sometimes.
Imagine how to
Please get close to the microphone.
If you're Jalen Brunson, how to grow your legend even further. You become known as the super celebrity who owns New York City, but when the finest restaurant wants to pay for your meal, you say, Chef, really, really appreciate that. I'm going to insist on paying.
Nah,
But
you just
thank
leave an
you so
awesome
much.
tip. You just leave an awesome tip.
Well, that's the other alternative. You know, instead of leaving the same 8-10%, you know, you're actually going to leave maybe a $20 bill.
Oh, you pay. You pay.
I'm kidding.
And then you turn to your wife and you say, what, do we break a window?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
What do we break a window?
What, do we break a window?
You're taking-
And then I said, what, do we break a window?
That's the kind of place where you can spend more than $100 for a steak. Right? I mean, I've spent $80 in my market down here for a restaurant
$15 tip on that.
I want to ask.
I'm a big tipper.
I walk in, I put my stuff down at the table, I say good morning, a collective good morning to the three people who are sitting at the table, and Lewis just goes, you have your hat today, right? The fuck?
Nice hat, asshole.
Bald people.
Nice hat, asshole.
You have a hat, right?
Nice hat, asshole. Nice hat, asshole. Nice hat, asshole.
You have a hat, right? In order to disguise his baldness.
You're bald.
Zaslow wears the cap.
You're bald.
I'm not into fashion. Bald people.
You're bald.
Nice hat, asshole.
What kind of way to greet me is that?
You're so bald that people are comfortable telling you upon greeting you that you need to do something with your appearance.
So you can't do the plugs and the dye. You got to pick one.
People aren't still doing toupees, are they?
Oh, yeah, they are.
Nice hat, asshole.
Fake hair toupee.
Nice hat, asshole.
He looks bad without a hat.
Nice hat, asshole.
Called capital B.
Nice hat, asshole.
Your brain beat me.
Why is it okay for everyone to make fun of people who are bald?
Just because you're bald doesn't mean you can take it out on other people.
You're bald!
You say the toupee business is booming.
Google Jamie Foxx toupee.
Dom Capers.
Bald people. I'm sorry, Sash.
I was just looking at Bill Self and Carl Ravitch.
Do you like breathing hot neck on the neck of hot?
Wow.
Are you turned on?
That kind of thing.
Do you like
Dangling.
breathing hot neck?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck?
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Intimate.
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Little pelvic thrust situation?
I like that.
That kind of thing.
Have you ever consoled a naked man before?
What does it feel like to get dry humped?
I saw pee-pee.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Breathing hot neck.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
I saw pee-pee.
People out there, stop sending me pictures of the hotel rooms with the chair, okay? Stop sending those to me.
I like that. I like that.
He was naked,
Intimate.
dangling.
I would hold that thing really tight.
How would you do it?
What's going on here?
For the uninitiated, Dave Damashek does a exceptional football show for us every week, and it is more often during the football season. The football season kind of starts tonight with the Hall of Fame game, and the name of the show is Football America, and Damashek is very good on all things football, so I want to ask him a couple of questions here. Stephon Diggs just signed with the Commanders 1 year, $12 million. I thought that this was still a number one receiver. I thought he was perfectly serviceable for the Patriots, that they were weak at wide receiver, but not necessarily because of him. And Stephon Diggs says, I'm better than all the number twos out there. So he still thinks he's a number one, but isn't being paid like it. And this is very much a prove-it deal with the Commanders. He didn't have a lot of choices. That can be worth $12 million. It might not be worth $12 million. What are your thoughts there?
I think a lot of guys play well with a chip on their shoulder, and Stephon Diggs, long into his career as he is, maybe is extra motivated here. You saw the benefit that he provided to Drake May a year ago. I would expect much of the same for Jaden Daniels. And it's weird in the what have you done for me lately league, how much our predictions and assumptions about what's about to happen are based around some sense of amnesia. People have forgotten about Jaden Daniels entirely because he was hurt last year. He played in the title game. He almost became the first rookie quarterback to ever get to a Super Bowl. He's going to be good. The big question with him is he Lamar Jackson 2.0, as in, can he keep himself healthy for the long haul? So far, not so good. Obviously, he's missed half of his NFL career.
Is the RG3 2.0?
Right.
Especially with the same franchise. You're looking at a guy who had an incredible rookie season, then the next year got hurt. This is the make it or break it year for Jaden Daniels.
But what about the Commanders' skill guys? Because Deebo Samuel was supposed to be something there, and he might have been if their quarterback had been healthy, and now they've got good skill guys. Your thoughts in general that on the Commanders trying to catch up to the Eagles when it felt like they were on the cusp of passing the Eagles, and because we get that forgetful, half a season has made it so that everyone has fallen asleep on Washington. Those skill guys in Washington, your thoughts on where it is you put them in the league?
Well, I try to compare them with the neighborhood that they inhabit. And by the way, the Eagles deserve to get the bulk of your attention, but don't sleep on. I know this is a crazy thing to say, but I like America's alleged team quite a bit this year. If they have a halfway competent defense, they are a factor in the NFC, which is top heavy this year. To your question about the Comandantes from Washington, D.C., it's all about Jaden Daniels being able to recapture, for them to be relevant, at least, to be able to risk, notwithstanding, to be able to be a factor with his legs as much as he is with his arm, like he was in his rookie season.
But you haven't mentioned their skill guys. You're talking about just their quarterback.
McClure,
I'm asking you about specifically the wide receivers that he has, the running back, the tight end. Stephon Diggs seems to me like a luxury for them, and it seems to me a good gamble for them as well.
Yeah, because of I don't think that they're loaded up compared to the rest of the neighborhood. So I think that Diggs gives them a chance at least of being a factor. Yeah, Tony.
I mean, we talked about it on Football America last episode. It was like that. Washington, for me, is one of the teams that I don't think is going to make the playoffs. I think they're third in their division. I think they're a little bit ahead of the Giants. But if you look at their skill guys, I probably have them fourth in the NFC East, right? Like, I like the Giants skill guys better. I like the Eagles skill guys better. And I like the Cowboys skill guys better.
So how does this work, though, when you do this with the Giants? You guys expect these guys to come off of injury and just be exactly the same as they were before the injury? Like, those are...
You're talking about Neighbors specifically?
Well, no, and Scatterboo. I'm talking about they've got two guys there who are coming off of monster injuries, and you're just sitting there and you're slotting them like ahead of Washington when I feel like people sleep on McLaren. Like, I don't think that they think that he's as good as I think he is.
I think people get over their skis about the notion of a true number one. You hear a great deal of talk about that. Maybe the last couple of years have disproven this to some extent, but if you go through the 25 years worth of pro football evidence we have this century, there is not necessarily a connection between having that dominant number one clear cut and making Super Bowl runs. Really, until Tyreek Hill won the Super Bowl, there was zero evidence of it. You know, Randy Moss never won a Super Bowl. T.O., Antonio Brown.
Well,
so
but
on
last
and so
year's
forth.
champion had the number one of all the number ones, did they not?
Yeah, but that, like I say, in the last couple of years, maybe things have changed a little bit in that regard. But up until the last couple of years, there was no, Cooper Kupp was the best player in football the year that the Rams won their Super Bowl. That was the next chip. But yeah, I don't think it's an essential ingredient to a Super Bowl contender.
Last year, Jackson Smith-Njigba was the best wide receiver in football.
As Dan Le Batard just said.
Steve Martin also.
Such a good point. We wanted to really hammer it home.
The thing that he's mentioning, though, that I think is something for all the football coverage that we get, the question I'm about to ask you guys is something that is really unusual in that he just mentioned Cooper Kupp, who had he had a 2,000-yard season? Did he have
Triple crown.
Also JSN.
Yeah, him too, as well.
He had a great season last year. They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Yeah,
I yelled the F word back here when the mic turned off.
I noticed that the group was laughing at the fact that you weren't listening. In fact, let me do this.
Come on. I was so helpful for the comandantes.
You were, yes, and congratulations for doing your job.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes for not listening to the show.
That's fair. I like Chiggy Okonkwo, too, their new tight end.
Thank you for saying that's fair, that you weren't listening to the show after you repeated
I'll accept
something.
it. No, I'll accept it.
Thank you for accepting your penalty. But what I was saying about the Rams, this part, we cover this league a lot. So you had Cooper Kupp, which was shocking enough, okay, to see a white wide receiver be somebody who's in the 2,000-yard range, but then they lose him and replace him. And they got another number one when those are hard to get. And so it sort of makes me wonder, can they just make those because they've got the coach and the quarterback? Are they so good at drafting that they can just replace a guy who came out of nowhere? I think we can all agree. A guy who came out of nowhere to lead the league, not just in receiving yards, but in an unfathomable number of receiving yards. Oh, he's gone? Let me take Puka Nacua and just put him in there, and he's going to be every bit as good as the number one you just had. Give me all the examples of replacing Randy Moss with Randy Moss. It's not that easy to do, so I ask you, our football expert, the question of, is that something the Rams can just do because they've got the MVP at quarterback and they've got that coach?
Boy, that's a great question. Is it circumstantial? With Puka Nacua, in other words, could you transfer him to a different situation and see anything close to these results? That's basically the question.
Well, Cooper
right?
Kupp left and then wasn't that in Seattle, and he got older. And the other thing they do, right, this is probably not covered enough. They ask an awful lot of their receivers physically in all parts of the game. And so they are using those bodies in a way that's going to make them expire faster than you might expect. And in some instances, going to send Puka to rehab because I don't know how he's self-medicating. The way he plays football is dangerous even by football standards.
Well, it also begs the question, you say, how did the Rams figure out that Puka Nacua was a factor? Well, they didn't, or else they would have taken him much higher in the draft. It begs the question, how with the obsession that we have about studying student athletes, how do maybe in 1962 it was a different story. How do guys slip through the cracks at this point with the obsession that we have collectively about evaluating their tape? How did Nacua did everybody, and the Rams did miss, much like the Patriots, who get a lot of credit for not missing on Tom Brady? Well, they took him in the 6th round.
Well, because it's not science. It's just probabilities, and a million different things go into making someone successful, as Amin can tell you. In basketball, it's a little easier with the measurables, I would say, but I am sure that Amin would have a number of examples of someone physically that he thought couldn't miss, who ended up missing because there are so many things that go into being great, including mental strength required to just handle wherever it is that some of these guys can't be fragile or sensitive.
Yeah, Jeremy just said a great one back here. Michael Beasley. He was prototypical NBA player, especially for where the game was going. Multi-talented, could play inside, could play outside, could score in a variety of ways. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. If you went around and asked NBA players who graduated high school between 2006 to 2009, who was the best player they'd ever seen, all of them would say Michael Beasley. He was the guy. And I'm talking about Kevin Durant and Kevin Loves and all those guys are like, Michael Beasley's the guy. And it just didn't work out for him because, he just could not adjust to professional life. He had been.
But that's the opposite, though. Those are fascinating cases as well. But those are sort of attributable, like, well, no one knew he was on the purple drank. No one knew he was chugging NyQuil. That's why he didn't make it on the professional level. It's weirder, as I say, given how much we look at these guys, that Nacua, who is a 6'5", 220 guy, he wasn't playing in the middle of nowhere. He was playing at a major college.
Where was Gronk drafted? Like, that one seems obvious in retrospect, but where was Gronk taken? How many picks were taken before the best tight end in the history, the most unstoppable tight end?
2nd round, 42nd overall.
Oh, not a bad guess from Old Dave, though, right? I said 35.
He had 60 from Otto Graham, too.
Speaking of which, thank you for doing that. Thank you for bringing us back to Otto Graham. Can you guys, in honor of Dave Dameshek, the return of football, the return of Football America, let's go through some black and white photos here of old quarterbacks. This is a time here before the face mask, or you can see that the guy from that Pistons tryout is chasing Otto Graham there in the background. That Otto Graham is not wearing a face mask.
That's a quarterback? He's
Yes.
not even built like a quarterback.
Number 60, yes. He's got the face that you can see of some vigorous running, but I just want to keep going through Dave Dameshek's time and just sort of quiz him on some of these quarterbacks here.
Well, I want to quiz you, Dan. What's worse? What do you think is the more annoying person to talk to about football? The person who insists that when they make a list of the great the first one is when they say of all time, when they're really talking about people that they've seen. When they say, here's the greatest receivers of all time, and it's guys from the last 17 years.
Roy, do me a favor, please. Cut up how it is that he started to just grab the steering wheel of
I
the
deserve
show.
it.
No, but of course, thank you for accepting the fact.
Good on ya.
that
Accountability.
You were just wildly,
Yes, Comandante.
Thank you for accepting the fact that you were wildly incompetent in expression when we're in the communication
Settle,
business.
caballo, settle.
One.
No es flaco, Dan Le Batard.
I was asking you about number 14 and the single bar that he had on his face here in this black and white honoring of Dave Dameshek's love of the old guys. You decided to take the steering wheel. You didn't take the lob that Amin lobbed you before on Cinephobe because you just wanted to ask me a question, and I'm trying to keep you here doing the show that we're doing.
Yeah.
The single bar face mask that this quarterback is wearing, I don't know who that is.
That's Otto Graham, friend.
Okay, because I saw number 60 before.
I was in college.
Not I didn't recognize him with his one bar over his face. He didn't have any bar in college, and so this is the celebration of Otto Graham. Now, what is the question that you're asking me?
The pretentious asses who do the of all time when they're really talking about people since they've been alive, or the pain in the ass who does the greatest quarterbacks list of all time. Here's my top 10. Otto Graham, number 6. Wait a minute. What do you know about Otto Graham? You never saw Otto Graham play? Who are you to weigh in on Otto Graham? By the way, to clarify, Otto Graham were number 60 in the AAFC. Then, when the Cleveland Browns were a part of the NFL, he switched to number 14, just to clarify for you.
It's important that we get those details right. People expect us to get the details right.
AAF. See,
it's just how he talks. There's only one A in there, but he just puts many of them in front of that because it's how it is that he talks. Before it is that I make fun of Dameshek and the way that he took the show and grabbed the steering wheel and then made a bunch of gibberish noises, I did want to ask you the serious question of when the Chicago Bears give Darnell Wright a record-breaking contract for a right tackle, and then we report that it is a record-breaking contract for a right tackle. Who cares, and when did they start caring about the specifics of this is a record-breaking contract, it's $114 million, we've never paid someone that much? How and why did we start caring about that? How and why did that become something that is reported? And why should I care about the fact that the Chicago Bears have a very good right tackle? And I know he's a good right tackle, and there's no disputing that he's a good right tackle, but I really don't care at all that they're paying him more than any other right tackle. Why should anybody?
Didn't it all really start, it feels to me like, with Dave Winfield? That was when sports fans started to pay more attention to how much players were getting paid in sports. That was, at least for me, the start of it all. I don't really recall anybody
It isn't
doing
for me. Dave Winfield is my favorite baseball player of all time. Dave Winfield, I still have baseball cards of his, and I don't really have very many baseball cards. They're just the ones from my childhood. I wish I still had the Slurpee cup with his face on it back when look at Roy's smile back there. Back when 7-Eleven would give you the Slurpee cup. What are you not familiar with this?
I had one too. Pitchers pay the price when they face Jim Rice. And my sister Amy got one that said Seaver needs no reliever. What was the Winfield one?
I think we're talking about different timelines because mine, I don't recall mine having writing on it. I just remember that it was just Dave Winfield. So I don't know if you're before me or after me when they added the slogans. But you guys have no idea what we're talking about. The Slurpee. Is the Slurpee still popular? Is the 7-Eleven Slurpee still a popular thing?
Still being sold.
That's not my question. I don't know whether the 7-Eleven Slurpee is still popular. Was the batting helmet with ice cream in it, was that a 7-Eleven thing
Dairy
first?
Queen.
No.
Oh, it was Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen, yeah.
Okay, so put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Better sweet treat, the 7-Eleven Slurpee or the helmet sundae from Dairy Queen? Let's see here. Can you read there what the writing is on the Dave Winfield cup that's on the screen there? Because my eyes are not good enough. It just says Yankees there.
No, it's just 1987.
86.
86 Sports Channel. MVP.
Was Winfield? How many sports was Winfield drafted in? Because I really don't remember what you're talking about in terms of but it is instructive, right? I was a child, so I had no interest in the money, and I would have no reason to have any interest in the money, and I wasn't reading things that would be about the money. So Dave Winfield just was an amazing athlete to me. I couldn't believe that someone had that big a swing or someone that athletic was playing baseball. And that's one of the reasons that I liked him so much.
He was drafted by 4 teams in 3 different sports. So he was drafted by the Padres as a pitcher, 4th overall pick in the MLB draft. Obviously didn't go on to pitch. Then he was drafted by the Hawks in what was then the 5th round of the NBA draft and the Utah Stars in the 6th round of the ABA draft. He never played college football, but the Vikings took him in the 17th round of the NFL draft.
I like the idea of the Vikings being like, what the hell, let's take a chance. He seems to be a pretty good athlete.
It is an interesting question, Dan, about when we started to care about that, but the same goes for the one that is the weirdest to me is caring about TV ratings. But sports fans indulge that all the time. Oh no! Oh, they must be the NBA front office must be petrified about those 2 teams play. What do you care? How's it impact your life?
I would assume that the reason that people care is because if something has big ratings, it affirms that they care about something that is very popular. And if something doesn't have big ratings, they can point to it and say, see, this is why this is failing. And this supports my argument that something is failing. But I think we now have the sound of you talking professionally into a microphone, and you can get much of this on Football America.
The person who insists that when they make a list of the great the first one is when they say of all time.
So I was supposed to understand that question.
That was worse than I remembered.
We should take that out to people in public and be like, answer this.
Yeah. I mean, so just understand, okay? I'm sitting here, driving the show like I've been doing it for 20 plus years now, just minding my own business. And someone grabs the steering wheel to offer me this.
The person who insists that when they make a list of the great the first one is when they say of all time.
What's the question?
So somebody's making a list of all time.
But what? Let me just count the number. Please play it again. Again, this is a professional. We were paying him. Football America's new show. We built around him. I strongly suggest you listen to it. It is very good. But here he's not.
The person who insists that when they make a list of the great the first one is when they say of all time.
It's a full 12 seconds of just gibberish. Where's the question in that? Like, what? How was I supposed to understand what the hell you were asking
It's
me?
preseason, Dan.
I don't know what your deal is, Dan. It's pretty clear. He's asking if the person who insists when they make a list, the first one is of all time.
Yeah. I don't need that. I'm working through.
Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day.
Dan, I got a dealer's choice here. Do you want a football stat or a non-football stat?
Which one's better?
I think they're both really good. Highly recommend both.
All right, let's hear them both then.
Okay, it's a football stat. So the other day we were talking about Tua versus Penix in this quarterback battle. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, hold on. I have something for that. Oh,
no. Reference that in the Things to Ponder file. He's flipping through. There he is. First all-time, all-lefty QB camp battle ever, right? He asked a question. I have the answer. It's not. It's happened 3 times in NFL history. 3 times. First of all, you've got Boomer Esiason in Cincinnati, and then Mark Brunell in Jacksonville. Both of them had lefty backups. So this is only the 3rd time. But then I went deeper into the rabbit hole and I said, wait a second. How many lefty quarterbacks have played in the NFL ever? NFL been around a long time, right? Long time.
Since Otto Graham.
You know how many left-handed quarterbacks there have been?
Let's see if we can put the over-under
Yeah.
here. If I were to say to you, Dave Damashek, football expert, that the number – we're not talking about starting quarterbacks. We're just talking about somebody who has taken a snap or had a job as a backup of any kind. If I put the number, Damashek, at 20, would you go over or under?
I mean, it's got to be more than 20. I know the number is low, but in the history of people,
If I were to put the number at 40, would you go under or over if I put the number at 40?
I'm gonna go over 40. I'm gonna say it's around 50.
So we're talking about appeared in an NFL game.
I thought you just said was rostered. I thought that was the
Appeared in an NFL game.
So there's a big difference to you between rostered
I
and
can see
just
a guy
taking
knocking
a
around.
snap.
I can
taking-
see a guy knocking around.
Well,
at
how
the
many?
back of
Let's do this another way. Go ahead off the top of your head and just start naming left-handed quarterbacks if you want to take a crack at that as our resident football expert, because I don't feel like I can name a whole bunch of left-handed quarterbacks.
This is not including trick plays like Ronnie Brown.
It's not including trick plays. No, it's not someone who's thrown a pass, because Ronnie Brown's not a quarterback.
Right. These are people who are quarterbacks who appeared in the game. Doesn't matter whether they're a backup or a starter. So I'll give you one. Steve Young's a left-handed
35,
quarterback.
40 guys, maybe. I mean, like Mike Pagel, and you're getting in the
100+ years of NFL.
Vic to
See, you're
Penix.
doing wait a minute. So you're doing 100 years of NFL, and I'm doing 50. Like, I don't think of the NFL as something that I don't think of it as something before 1970.
No, I'm talking about from the dawn since Otto Graham up until today. How many left-handed quarterbacks have merely appeared in a game? Doesn't matter whether they started or they came off the bench.
Let's go ahead and get the number.
33.
Wow.
That's absurdly low.
That is crazy. Look up for me, Chris, if you don't mind. It is absurdly low. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Are you surprised that there have been only 33 left-handed quarterbacks ever, NFL quarterbacks ever? Can you look up for me, Chris, whether Mississippi State, the football team, was the first team in the history of college football last year to have both a left-footed field goal kicker and a left-footed punter? Because I'm pretty sure that's the first time that has ever happened in the history of the sport, but I'm not totally sure that it's so. So if you could look that up for me, I would appreciate it. What's your other stat, Amin?
Well, we got to get the music first.
Yep. You want the long
Start
version?
of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day.
I'm going to pause here on the stat of the day, no matter how interesting it is, to give people a private look at what it is that my experience is doing this show in the privacy of these air traffic controller headphones that Nick Wright makes fun of. While all of this conversation was going on, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek as to what it is was happening in my ear and my ear only as all of you were talking. Jeremy, you want to just go ahead and give people what it is you were doing in only my ear during that segment as I go full-blown crazy while trying to do this show?
I said, an update on Mike Pagel. He now resides in suburban Cleveland, Ohio, and became a project manager for AT&T. He also is the quarterback coach at Normandy High School in Parma, Ohio. Delightful.
There you go, Dan. See?
You don't want to know that?
Look who learned a little something.
We had a gap
today
there.
on the Dan Le Batard Show.
Stat of the day was playing, so I figured,
Man in the Eating Hall of Fame, Dan Le Batard.
you might want to know. Just be more
Todd
informed.
Marinovich. He was a lefty. Remember him?
He
everybody?
was, yeah. His
Scott
dad.
Mitchell. You guys remember Scott Mitchell real good down here, don't you?
Tony, bring in that the thing that we have framed there. I don't know that has Damashek seen what it is.
I hope he hasn't.
I
Art Brunel.
No, I want to see if we can present to Dave Damashek something that he has not seen here, because he mentioned Scott Mitchell, and we have a framed picture there of the most famous Greg Cody column ever written. the unthinkable, a Marino trade. Greg Cody thought that it was a good idea to trade Dan Marino and keep Scott Mitchell, the left-handed Scott Mitchell. And then after writing that column, appeared on WPLG local news outside of the Miami Herald building with his face distorted and his voice changed because he wanted to appear anonymous while giving that opinion because it was dangerous to have that opinion in this town. What is the other stat of the day? I mean,
so you guys know about Grand Theft Auto? You heard about that?
Yeah.
Yep.
GTA 6, very, very anticipated.
Tony, you didn't break that.
I think he destroyed it.
Tony, you didn't. That did not just fall off the wall. That's a precious artifact. That's like something from an archaeological dig. You just broke a bunch of T-Rex bones. That's what you just did by throwing that on the ground accidentally. Please treat that with some respect. Go ahead, Grand Theft Auto.
So Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out, and they estimated the budget to be exceeding $2 billion, and it took 10 to 12 years to develop. Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, cost $1.5 billion and took 6 years to build.
How does it cost? I understand it's popular, and I understand that they'll make their money back on that. But how does it cost that much to make a video game?
3 words: attention to detail.
But $2 billion worth of attention to detail? Do you believe that if I say to the audience that it costs $2 billion to make Grand Theft Auto 6, that anyone would put the number there?
I think given how long it's taken and the anticipation and the things that they've been releasing. So I don't know if people understand this. So the game takes place in a fictional city always, but these fictional cities are very, very familiar to cities that you may know. So Los Santos, kind of like Los Angeles. Liberty City, kind of like New York. And Vice City is, of course, Miami. And so the earlier versions of it, you would just see things, it kind of looks like Miami. Oh, they got some beaches, they got some palm trees, etc. But as this thing has developed, they start getting real detail. Like the last one was set in Los Santos, but it's like, that's Sunset. That's where the comedy story, like they have all these landmarks, but they just give them different names and different kind of styles. And so what they're building here, figuratively speaking, in Vice City is, I would be surprised if the Elser isn't in it. Like, it's so detailed.
What if I'm crossing the street in it?
What if you're clearing off the table?
Big freckled guy?
Whoa, big? Unnecessary. By the way, Dan, in 2005, the Penn State had a lefty kicker and punter in 2005. I was gonna go with Nittany Lions. I got scared.
Tough one.
That's what happened there.
Third round.
Matt Leinart, lefty.
You don't have to say lefty.
We got 33
I saw what
already,
you
yeah,
were
we
doing.
got
I don't know
I
what you're
saw
doing. Know what I'm doing.
I saw what you were doing. It's funnier. It's just Matt Leinart and then silence. You can't help yourself.
Boomer Esiason.
Already mentioned.
Steve Martin.
The thing that I need to get back to, because we haven't accentuated it quite enough. I want everyone here listening to this, but especially the people who do not have video, okay? I want you to imagine Chris Cody at his most amorous, okay? I want you to imagine Chris Cody saying, I want to recreate the scene from the movies where someone has sex so passionately and has so much lust in their heart that they need to knock a bunch of things off of a desk, a sweeping gesture that just very both heroically and masculinely, but also aggressively needs sex so badly right now with the person that he's devoted his life to. And she's so much on the same page that she's not going to find it appalling or even messy that he sweeps a hand across a desk and knocks everything off.
Oh, boy.
But then goes into the room to have sex.
It's a mood setter.
But doesn't do anything with the desk or anything.
Am I gonna have sex on a table?
Oh, boy. If you clear it off.
I love, like, again, in my mind's eye, it's already migrated, but he's like, hold on, honey. And then he makes the mess and said, now we can start.
Then I skip into the bedroom.
Well, you skip, but I'm assuming also you're skipping, but with the impediment of
Fully nude.
You're well, and aroused, and aroused. So here you got the sweeping gesture. You've got a desk that is now prepared for something that is vigorously passionate. You've got you at full attention, and then you point to the bedroom and are like, "Let's take it in there." And you have to step over, the stapler that is on the floor in order to get there.
You're a skipper.
That's right.
That you a skipper?
Aroused Winnie the Pooh, clearing the table off. Let's make our way upstairs now.
That's the other thing. You know he's wearing a shirt. Like that's the thing.
First few years of my wife, now I take it off. I'm comfortable with her now. It did take a while, though. You're not wrong. 3 years.
I thought you were saying it the other way around, like that you're too lazy to remove an apparel, but it was shame that required you to keep your T-shirt on.
That's
oh
right.
no!
You're stepping over a paperweight, the electric bill. Like you're stepping over these things and are like, and now, honey, let's take it to the bedroom and
Shall we?
And let's just do this the way we've always done it. No surprises, no changes. Let's just go straight ahead.
Dave, talk to me.
It's a 60s song, The Name Game. Nick, Bobic, Banana, Bofic, me, my, Momic. Nick.
Rosanna, Bavana, Rosanna, Bavana, Rosanna, Bavana.
I'm the kind of guy that Nick. Who made it the salad? Hey, Butterfinger. Who made it the salad? Nick, Bobic. Who made it the salad? Georgia.
That's not correct.
Very good.
It's a parrot that says very good out of the side of its mouth.
That's correct.
What does this have to do with the name game?
I'm not going to take a quiz.
Rosanna,
Nick,
Bavana,
Who made it the salad? Me, my, Momic. Very good. Let's go, States. We're rolling now, huh?
That's not correct.
Doesn't make it right. But don't go showering to try to please me.
I was talking with some friends of mine because I happened to be having breakfast in a place the other day where Shakira was.
Lucky dog.
It's a bar.
Breakfast friends?
Add it to the list.
I like that.
She is impossibly tiny.
Who cares?
What do you mean?
I mean, whatever.
She's impossibly tiny.
Okay. I'll put you down as not a Shakira guy. Tiny.
I'm not saying
impossibly tiny. Impossibly tiny.
How tall do you?
Hey man, we can't all be perfect.
How tall do you think she is?
I think she's very short, but the hips don't lie.
3'9".
She is the single smallest person who isn't a little person that I've ever seen. Before this, it was Donna Shalala.
The first time I ever saw Donna Shalala, I couldn't believe it.
She's not Donna Shalala's height.
Donna
she
Shalala
cannot
is
be.
shorter.
She's shorter.
Than you think
No,
she is.
she can't be.
She's shorter.
No,
I don't believe that.
No, I don't believe you.
Nobody is shorter than Donna Shalala.
No one.
Come over
no
here.
one.
Come over here. I'm going to show you a picture.
Tiniest person
She is
ever.
listed. I looked it up. I had to look it up. She's listed as
She's not shorter than Donna
She's
Shalala.
like this tall, Donna Shalala.
Mike, I'm going to show you a picture right now, and you tell me if this person is or isn't just a porcelain doll.
Get in here, Mike.
Because this is not, and she is shorter than Donna Shalala.
Look at it.
And it looked like she was sitting in someone's lap when she was just sitting next to that person.
I can't tell. She's sitting down.
Well,
the arms are short, but that's not shorter than Donna Shalala.
She's got to be 4'7". I'm not kidding you.
No way. She stood next to Burner Boy.
When I saw her, I thought to myself, she is perpetually placed next to people who are very small, so no one will know how small she is. There is simply no way that the world at large knows how tiny Shakira is.
IMDb has her at 4'11" and 3/4, so about 5 feet.
Nope. I saw what I saw was her listed at 5.
3/4 too. How did IMDb get that?
Look, there's no one who's 5'11" and a half, and there's no one who's 4'11" and a half. Those are all lies. Like no one.
3/4.
There's no one. There's no one on earth who's 5'11", who says they're 5'11" and a half or 4'11" and a half. That's how you know that that's a lie.
I have routinely stood next to Donna Shalala. There is just simply
I'm
no way.
promising
But
you.
thank you for the visual of her doing die-die at the World Cup.
The internet says Donna Shalala is 5 feet.
I can testify. Donna Shalala's hips also don't lie.
Cut that up.
Let's do gas bag of the week. Roy, what is it that needs context here on who's speaking and who is the gas bag of the week?
All right, so Steve Eisman stepped down as general manager and executive vice president of the Detroit Red Wings. Having problems up there. Dylan Larkin wants to be traded. That's right. It's Thursday Thunder. It's presented by DraftKings Sports. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Juju.
Yes, sir, man. Thursday Thunder back at it again. Last week, Sabrina Ionescu, she let us down, man. She could have hit 1 or 2 more threes. But this week, we got that look in our eyes because it's time for victory. Man, first leg, if you know, you know. Real hoopers know. Kelsey Mitchell is a DAWG, and she got the MVP coming in town tonight in Asia Wilson. So I think Sis going to step up and get 23.5 points at least tonight against the Aces. Lock it in, man. True number one. Kelsey Mitchell, the number one over there, if you don't know. Second leg, Aaliyah Boston. I say the number 3 talent over there in Indianapolis. She's going to get you at least 3.5 assists tonight because Kelsey Mitchell passed her the ball, wet. Caitlin, wet. You feel me? Anybody else? She dishing and going. You did. Great playmaker in Aaliyah Boston. Next leg and last leg, my dog, Nayara Sabali. Man, Anissa Morrow has come into town in Toronto, putting a little pep in the steps. If you a big man, alert, alert. You got a real dog in the building. And I think Nayara, man, she going to step up and show she's the true number one over there. Get you 12.5 points. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Thursday Thunder with Juju. Always a pleasure. Tony, you are headed to a bachelor party soon?
Yeah, Danny B's brother Johnny B. His bachelor parties this weekend. We're heading to Naples, go out and hang out with some of the boys. About to have about a gallon of tequila over the next 4 days.
So I got a buddy of mine, went to a bachelor party recently, and one of his buddies did the most diabolical prank ever known to man. What he did was, the night before everyone was leaving, he went into everyone's suitcase and packed a bottle of water, but at the top, it had like a rubber mini dildo, and then buried it deep in the suitcase so that everyone going to the airport is going to get stopped by TSA. Like, do you have any water in the bag? No. I'm like, no, there is water in the bag. And when they pull it out, there's a dildo on it. And I'm wondering, have you guys ever heard of a prank worse than that? Juju, if someone did that to you, if you were, I'm out here to support my boy and have, like one last hurrah, whatever, and then you go to the airport, going home, minding your business, and TSA says, you want to explain this one?
Yeah, that's a two America situation for sure. That's not funny to me. I don't find the humor in that. Play with me like that if you want to. I promise to God, we're not friends anymore, and I'm telling on you. I'm going to tell your girlfriend on you. We get married, whoever get married, I'm telling.
What's the worst prank you guys have heard of? Because they do this. I've never been to a bachelor party, so I don't know. But
the one Taché was talking about a week ago, the guy who a rich person told him you just won $100,000 or something, right?
Yeah, we were talking about actually Charlie Hull in the LPGA, and she
Right.
pulled off
The cigarette
a-
smoking LPGA
a
golfer that
prank
joined us once.
of tricking her caddy into believing that the caddy had won $100,000 with a lottery ticket, and it was
Like
totally
Jeffrey.
fake.
Oh yeah,
Like Jeffrey from Fresh Prince.
Yeah, just like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a great.
How could you do that?
Are you aware of this, Amin?
I did not. I'm not aware of what he's referring to, but I'm aware of Juju's reference, which is in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will and Carlton play a prank on Jeffrey, making him think that he won the lottery. And so he goes around and gets super disrespectful. Like he's like, "Hey, have some cooking lessons to the wife, to Mrs. Banks, to Mr. Banks. Hey, you could go join Pilates or whatever." And then at the end, he says, "In case you haven't figured it out, I quit." And he he literally hops out of the room like a bunny rabbit. I quit.
He said, Vivian's prize vase.
Yeah.
The one that attracts dust like a magnet. Whoops. And drop that guy.
Smashes it. Like he causes damage. But, okay, so Juju, let me ask you this. That one, like, the first one sounds ridiculous. I'd be mad and everything. But this one feels like devastating. Which worse, finding a water bottle with a dildo on it in TSA or thinking that you won $100,000 when you didn't?
I'm not saying let's murder people, but I mean, if somebody a rich person did that one to me, I'd be a ha. Now give me $100,000.
Ridiculous.
Rich person. You tortured me.
What Charlie did is insane.
That's what makes it bad. Yeah, that's what makes it bad. Like, if we kicking it on the block or we outside and somebody playing, all right, bro, you got one over me for 5 minutes. But if Dan gives me a fake lottery ticket and now it's telling everybody, you thought he was finna be rich. Hey, bro, it's big smoke. Smoky.
What are the polls, Juju?
Yes, sir, man. We had a couple of them today, just a couple. Bigger ruiner of appetites, chips and salsa or bread?
This is big.
64% of the audience says bread.
Easy. That and butter. You put that in front of me before the meal.
It expands.
Yeah, but bread is more filling. Like, I will acknowledge
That's the
that.
point.
But I go harder with the chips. Like, I know that bread is filling, so I'll be like, I'm having 2 pieces, and that's it. Whereas chips and salsa, I will have 19 chips and salsa.
Maybe I'm crazy. If it's not like nachos, it's just chips and salsa, I can have a billion of those. It's not going to ruin my appetite.
Yeah, but you do. I'm always like 29 in. I'm always like, man, am I still hungry? Like, it'll just hit you all of a sudden.
It's the Chili's chips and salsa for me. Those are the best.
I've never heard anybody count the number of chips. 19 is a lot? Doesn't seem like a lot.
Maybe it's not. I was just kind of saying a number. You're right. That's not that impressive.
What else we got, Juju?
I'm going to say 29 in.
29?
Is the jelly bean the Bob Cousy of candy? 81% of the audience says yes, it is.
Get out of here, Hall of Famer. Where?
This is a big one, Jeremy. I'm so sorry, man. Might want to cover your ears for this one. Does anyone think that root beer is the greatest of the jelly beans? 84% of the audience says no, they do not.
That's a win for me.
Yeah.
That's a win. That means 16% of the audience says root beer is the greatest. I didn't say everybody had to say the greatest. I said it's my greatest. 16% of the audience agrees with me on one flavor. That's a W.
I think that's just 16% of the audience disagreeing with Dan. Just whatever
that's
Dan
true.
said, the opposite.
Yeah, well, he tried to call ice on me.
Glass 16.
Twice.
Glass 16% full. Do you know what the AAFC is? 94% of the audience says no, they do not. Was yodeling huge in the 20th century? 68% of the audience says yes, it was.
20 CB.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, look at my boy.
Yeah.
Do you know what yodeling is? 94% of the audience says yes, they do.
That's AI. I didn't take that.
Why we go with a means version of yodeling when mine is clearly superior?
Because it's the Lord's version.
Yeah, we go with the worst ones
Yodelay
to make more fun of them. Is Tony Kornheiser a yodeler? 69% of the audience says yes, he is.
Roy's doing requests now.
Right, you got to spend that. Does The Price is Right keep anything alive? 66% of the audience says yes, they do.
That's the remix.
Is chin whistling more accurate than chin music? 66% of the audience says no, Dan.
The first one is.
Yes. Did you know that Matt Damon's stunt double in The Odyssey was a 4'6" Canadian woman? 55% of the audience says no, they did not.
Dave, talk to me.
Did you know that there were 8 blood fists? Where can we find this review of those blood fists, Amin?
On Cinepope, wherever you get podcasts.
Yes, sir, man. 92% of the audience says no, they did not.
Neither of those things.
8% knew there were 8 blood fists?
Right. Is there any time for love once camp starts? 77% of the audience says no, there is not.
That was Justin Herbert from yesterday.
Should Justin Herbert abstain from sex until he wins a Super Bowl? Come on, audience. 82% of the audience says yes, he should. Come on, y'all. Did you know that this is kind of the biggest one we got today. Did you know that Otto Graham was number 60? 88% of the audience says no, they did not.
Basic ass bitch.
Are you surprised that there have only been 33 left-handed NFL quarterbacks ever? Salute to Michael Penix and Tua, you know?
Yeah.
52% of the audience says yes, they did know that. They are surprised. They are surprised. That's on me.
That's still 48% are lying.
Right. And last poll, better sweet treat, the 7-Eleven Slurpee or the Dairy Queen Sundae? 80% of the audience says the Dairy Queen Sundae, and those are your polls.
Carpenter deals.